Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 18 of the Red Force Podcast. My name's Eric Tolato. Christian Tolato over here.
I'm here.
Today we've got a chock-filled episode of the podcast
It's gonna be long.
with special guest Brago DS come out
First
very shortly.
guest.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very good indeed. Nice conversation about all things One Piece, including the chapter and other various
We'll
topics.
still talk about the chapter.
You know, we've got How Strong is Shanks, Power Scale, and the Question Corner as always, and of course the chapter recap. But, Christian, let's get right into the Brago interview.
Let's go.
Brago, this chapter,
Yo.
903.
Oh
What a
man.
time to be alive.
I think we kind of knew it was coming, right?
Yeah, like
We knew it was coming
I was saying
eventually.
for weeks, like Shanks is turning up, you gotta just wait for it, he's coming.
Listen, like every time Shanks is in a chapter, it's always an amazing chapter.
That's it,
Like honestly, like think about the chapters Shanks has been in, from showing up in Marineford
Yeah.
to the chapter where Shanks went on Whitebeard's ship. Every chapter where Shanks shows up, it's a fucking amazing chapter. So,
Yeah.
I like with 903, Dritz, he had spammed in the group chat, was like, yo, this chapter is amazing. And normally Dritz doesn't, he doesn't really like the chapters that much recently because of Whole Cake. So when he said the chapter is the best chapter of the year, I thought he was like joking or trolling or something.
So do you guys, do you think the guys that say like, what's the point of Whole Cake, was it worth it? Do you think like this chapter makes it worth it, in a way? Like,
For me it does.
Yeah.
It ties it all together. But
100%.
I'm still seeing people say, well, Whole Cake still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm still seeing people say Whole Cake was a waste of time and the Katakuri fight doesn't make sense, which is what can you do? What can you do?
Listen, the Katakuri fight, that's going to be discussed, I think, forever, just because of everything that went down in it. And I think that's just how One Piece fights go.
And it's gonna be like that for years because the anime is still gonna get through it or remind people.
Exactly that, because the anime that's happening right now, and that's pretty great so far.
Yeah, the anime I think will make a few things clear, like did Luffy actually get the future sight? Like things
Yes, that's true. That's true. It's going to clarify a lot of that because that's been a toxic conversation for a long time. As far as using future sight, did Luffy see the future? Did Katakuri throw the fight? And I'm just like, man, I don't know.
This chapter, let me tell you, like the night before my team lost in AFL, it's like an Australian football league, and I was depressed. Six losses in a row, start of the season, no wins on the board.
Whoa, 6 in a row.
Yeah, I'm like, I get up all depressed, and then I see the chapters out, and then just absolute bliss, like completely jumping up and down.
First off, the title alone was
Yeah.
incredible.
I had a suspicion it might have been Luffy, but that's crazy. Like
I didn't, you know what, like we always talk about Luffy and his level as far as like where he's gonna be.
Yeah.
I would never have thought Luffy to become a Yonko or be heralded as a Yonko by Big News Morgans.
That's
like,
the thing, like you wouldn't expect
already.
it. And if like I was to tell you that after this arc Luffy would be considered a Yonko, you'd be like, What are you
You'd be like,
talking
no
about?
way!
That's an article, like that doesn't make any sense. But this
Like-
chapter like made it make sense. The way
I think
the way
when you
Morgan
go
said it.
through everything that Luffy's affiliated with,
Yeah.
everything he has done, it's easy to justify it. Especially when Oda hasn't highlighted any other pirates.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Other than the Yonko. It's like nobody else can really
And I think
uh,
I think all the other people that have like other agendas, like the kid fanboys, are trying to scramble to.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, it's not official that he's an emperor. I'm like, well,
yeah.
there's no real official channel that declares someone an emperor. They're just kind of.
Yeah. So I just thought about something.
Yeah.
So Luffy's been declared a Yonko because of like affiliations and influence and strength beating commanders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if Doflamingo was not a Shichibukai, how would the world government rate him?
I think the reason why Luffy's being considered a Yonko, because you got to remember, Yonkos don't take any defeats. Like this is the first time in a long time, maybe since even Marineford and even Rogers Day. Like no one really takes this much damage in the One Piece world. Like, this is a big deal
Yeah.
for Luffy, you know.
If you're Yonko, yeah, they don't really go through
And
stuff like this. And then,
Doflamingo's too smart to mess with Kaido, you know.
yeah,
He's
yeah. I
not
think
gonna try and
I mean,
risk it.
yeah, he was it's business with him, and I don't think he would do anything to kind of mess up that business. So you're right about
I
that.
think we'll see Doflamingo next week reading the paper in prison, maybe.
That would be awesome.
Laughing
That
about
would be
Luffy.
awesome.
I think we'll see that.
Because he's gonna say, "I said this."
Yeah.
Remember, he had that whole speech to Suru after she called him. And he was like, "Yo, I was holding the reins to everything."
Listen, man. do you know the schedule? Like, what's happening? Like, is there no chapter next week? Is there a chapter like?
Okay,
the
so
week, but...
they said that is Golden Week, right? But because we get the chapters early,
yeah.
Basically the chapter's already made, it's already distributed. It's just not going to be released until next week.
Okay.
So the official release is apparently not happening until like May 5th or 7th, something like that.
The English is the 7th. The Japanese though is the 2nd, which is a couple of days behind the usual. So I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, so they said no chapter next week because pretty much this week it was supposed to be for next week. So we're now going to get a chapter next week.
Like, these chapters make you just realize like why you're a One Piece fan and what makes One Piece so great. And
it kind of reinvigorated the fan base, I think.
When you're in the middle of an arc and you're like, kind of like in arc fatigue, like
it's dragging. yeah. You're ready to go somewhere else.
You kind of just get reminded. Like, I imagine when we're 100 chapters deep in Wano, people probably feel the same way. Like, we want to get to the Shanks arc.
100%,
all that kind of thing. But listen, man, got a few questions here for you, just to get maybe a little bit deeper into the fandom.
Dope.
No one really asks you these kind of questions. Like, what we know your theories on, Doflamingo. You love Doflamingo.
My guy.
You love Katakuri.
Yeah.
But, what made you get into One Piece? Tell that story of how you got into the series.
Oh man. Okay. So this goes back to, I would say, 2007.
Yeah.
Or around 2007, 2008, around there. I think I was searching for anime to watch, and I'd given One Piece a try before,
right.
But after seeing Luffy a couple times, I was like, I can't do it, man. I was like, this guy. I was like, what is this? A lot of people. It had a lot of great reviews on the internet, and I was watching Naruto. I was watching other popular anime, and One Piece was there. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna tough it out. I'm gonna give it 20 episodes. Right. I think I just watched Katekyo Hitman Reborn as well. Mm-hmm. So that was great. So I was like really looking forward to like watching a lot more anime. Okay. So I started watching One Piece, and I think Zoro. Like, I really love Zoro.
Yeah.
Zoro is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I love Sanji. Right. And it's like, I think after the Baratier, it got me. After Baratier, it got me. And Logtown, oh my God. But then back then, I kind of caught up to the One Piece anime 2008 summer. Like, every day, I watched a bunch of episodes. Like, so that's... And then it was... Because it was so different and unique, like, I would go back and I got into the manga. Then I started
the manga in 2008?
Research.
It would have been somewhere, before Marine?
Oh, man.
Where was that?
Where was it? It was the time skip hadn't happened yet.
Yeah.
The time skip definitely hadn't happened yet. Because I remember the time skip happened, it was like a 3-week break, which drove me crazy. Yeah, it was a 3-week break. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. But I think it's around Marineford. Or Sabodi.
Yeah, okay. So
somewhere around there.
You mentioned that it took a good 20 episodes, 30 episodes to get into it, to give it a chance.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that's the problem with the West? Like, they're looking for a fight or a hype character straight off the bat, and that's not really what One Piece is about? Do you think that's why it hasn't really picked off like Naruto or Dragon Ball?
100%. Because with Naruto, like,
the first arc,
it had moments. It's great. It's fantastic. And it's easy to get into. With One Piece, it's slow.
The first arc is isn't it the water the assassination plot or something with Kakashi.
So the first arc,
Zabuza.
the first real arc is the Zabuza arc,
Yeah,
right?
and then right into the tutoring
Yeah.
exams, which is just
They
all
shooting
fights,
exams.
all hype. You know?
Exactly. And then when they introduced the Sharingan, Kakashi, the Copy Ninja. So they had all these things set up for like the West that grew up on Dragon Ball,
Right.
where they're like, oh,
That,
we can get into this.
yeah.
It's like sophisticated.
That's how I got into it because like in Australia we get everything fucking way late, like way late. Dragon Ball.
Wait, didn't you guys get Avengers before us this time though?
I think you guys push it up a week. So, but the way time zones work, we always get like 12 hours ahead of you guys.
Oh, okay.
Like, this
Because
is
I know I
the
saw
back
somebody
in the,
saying
back in the
that they got
90s
it.
and the 2000s, like I think we got Dragon Ball in like 2005, first time it aired or something like that, something ridiculous.
Wait, wow, in 2005?
Yeah, like way back, like when it was
Wow.
like dirt cheap and the net was just picked it up because we only had like 4 or 5 channels on
wow.
local TV, so it was on.
That's kind of like how it
on
was for
during
me in the Caribbean.
Yeah, it was like a kids show on during the morning, like 7 to 8, that kind of thing. And
Damn.
you know, it was Dragon Ball Z, pretty much a Cell arc on repeat, and then it would
That's
be
the most popular arc.
yeah, and then it would be a couple episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh, or an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh, and then
Yes.
this weird show called One Piece would come on, and I'm like,
I
mean, I'll watch it.
is this 4 kids? The 4 kids version?
Yeah, it would have been the 4 kids version.
Yeah. Oh God.
And you know, I was watching. I'm like, I'm interested, but like, this is weird. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
then-
It's
because we never got much past Brightier. Like, it always just hit Brightier and then repeated.
mhm.
So maybe, well, it was about 9 or 10 then.
Yeah.
I guess. Maybe 5, 6, 7 years passed. Naruto's almost done. And my brother, he started reading. Like we knew who Luffy was, and like we have memories of the show. And then it's like my brother just decided one day on school holidays just to read the entire thing from start to finish.
Oh wow.
And then
That's dedication.
That's how we got into it. So
Yeah.
it's like,
So you kind of picked up on it because he kind of
he picked up on it, and then maybe I started reading week to week, and like the start of Dressrosa, the end of Punk Hazard, which is pretty late.
Wow.
But like, yeah, I've caught up and like done all the research, and
yeah.
which is what people
I mean,
are doing
it's
now, you know.
Of course, because the thing is, I think One Piece got the greatest influx of fans at Marineford. I think that's when a lot of people kind of was like, "Whoa, this like if they can do this all the time, this is something I can get into."
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of led to some of the people saying the New World has been it's been lackluster because how do you duplicate something like Marineford?
Well, hopefully we'll see in Wano, you know.
Well, that's what they're saying. Wano is going to be fantastic, and then apparently there's going to be another war that's going to make Marineford look like nothing. So, I mean, that for One Piece, I just love how. I mean, sometimes it can be open ended, and it leaves things open for your interpretation. But I think that's a strategy that keeps you coming back. Look at all the theories and videos that people make on One Piece. That's because of things we don't know.
YouTube community grow in front of my eyes, man. I remember Joyboy having like 1,000 subs. Now he's got what, over 600, something like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I remember Joyboy not having a lot. I remember One World HD. So the theorist was it was like One World HD, Alpha Too Late, Anime Fan Talk. Those were the 3 theorists that were really out there. I know Flying Panda, he had like a couple thousand, like 2,000. But it wasn't that many people making One Piece videos like that because Naruto and Bleach were still, you know, they were still the great things.
And Naruto's almost at the end, you know.
Yeah, Naruto was ending, and then people kind of got Naruto fatigued with the final arc because it kind of dragged. It dragged, and then they started killing characters that we cared about, but they killed them in like they weren't impactful deaths. Like when Neji died, it was like.
It's like, why did you get rid of Marada without fighting him? Like, what's
it was just like
who's this character
what's
that
going
I
on?
don't care about?
Yeah, it was just it was draggy, but I'm glad it's amazing to kind of go through Naruto and be able to say I started Naruto and I ended Naruto. like
I think
the
that's the
entire
thing that like people get upset when you start talking shit about Naruto because of that like long attachment. It's kind of the same thing with
It's
like, long
bro,
One Piece
it's
fans.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
Nostalgia. Like Naruto, I remember the first time I watched Naruto because the week before Toonami had said, "Oh, we're gonna bring this new show. It's called Naruto."
Yeah.
And it was like about a ninja guy. It was like I went to school because I was back in the Caribbean at this point,
Yeah.
and went to primary school. And all my friends was like, "Yo, did you see the commercial? This thing called Naruto is gonna come out." I'm like, "Yeah, Saturday, 8 o'clock." And Saturday at 8, we all got on our house phones, and we found a way to connect through our house phones, and we talked through the entire episode. It was just like, "Oh my god,
So
this is amazing."
So you've been in the how long have you been in the community, man? Like in the anime.
So I've been watching, I would say since like 20. I think I stumbled across a video on YouTube like 2000 and like 13.
Right.
Yeah. So then I've been watching. For Neverworld.
Yeah.
The first video I saw was for Neverworld.
Right.
All right. And then after I saw Double Four.
Ugh.
Then Sawyer, right, and then King of Lightning.
The great anime of
right. Those were the 4 established like YouTubers or One Piece or anime YouTubers.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I feel like I watched more of King of Lightning's videos because he did longer videos, and I used to catch the train to work at the time, so it was a good way to pass the time. And I watched a lot of the videos, and then eventually I started disagreeing with some of the things they were saying. And I was like, I would be at work talking to myself, saying, you know,
that's why me and my brother started this channel. Like,
you were just talking.
We were like, what the fuck are these guys talking in the community? Like,
yeah, I started disagreeing. I was like, I should make a channel.
Yeah.
I was at work, literally just like, what's stopping me? And of course, what was I was worried about was the stigma of anime fans.
Yeah.
Because I mean, now anime is kind of popular, and a lot of people are kind of saying, "Oh, I'm an anime fan. Oh, I've always been an anime fan." Now it's like trendy, but back then it was like a stigma and a stereotype. Like if you're an anime fan, you do certain things. You're watching hentai, tentacle porn. But so I was like, but then I was like, I don't care. I have to get these thoughts out. So then I went home. I told my girlfriend, I was like, I'm about to make a YouTube channel. She's like, yeah, okay, all right. So okay, you're not making a YouTube channel. So then I had a Dell laptop, like a regular Dell. The webcam was so bad, but I was like, I want to make my first video. I set it up and I made my first video. I think the chapter was like One Piece chapter, what was it? 793.
Right.
One Piece 793. And I just rambled for like 10 minutes. Like I just talked about whatever. The light was low. I didn't know what I was saying.
Yeah, man,
but after my first video, man,
you're just trying to get your foot in. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
But I was so proud of it. Yo, I made an intro using a GIF and putting like Brago DAs and like just over it. You know, but I was so proud of myself for taking that step. And then after that, I watched to see how many views I would get. I think I maxed out at like 5 views in the first like week. But I was like, 5 people watch this? Like what? Then I came to find out that 5 views were just my views going back and watching it. Yeah, me refreshing it. Right. So then, but then then I made 794. I got more views then, and I got a subscriber. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, slow beginning.
I was like, whoa, somebody subscribed. If you're
out there and you're thinking about making a YouTube channel, it's real slow, fellas. Like, you're not going to blow up.
Oh, man. It's because the thing is, when you go into it, like, I thought my amazing out of this world ideas was going to blow the community away. Yeah. But then I think after the first month, I was like, you know what? This is going to take a while. Yeah, I didn't care.
I think our stuff's so long, like, it kind of, like, shocks people into being like, oh, it's, like, 4 hours long. I'm not going to fucking watch it. I'm not going to give these guys a chance. But, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure it out at the moment.
Well, I mean, I think, like I said, I feel like some of the times with the titling.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it had the Red Force podcast, but then it didn't have One Piece in it. And it's like sometimes I see that people that they get a lot of views on videos off of either a thumbnail or a title. Yeah. Like Joy Boy's recent video.
Yeah,
100 and over
50,000.
150,000. That is absurd.
I was,
And of course, it's because of the hype, But
but
of course, the title as well. People are like, oh wow, Luffy new bounty. Because even the casuals that don't know about this, they're like, what Luffy's a Yonko now? Let me check this out.
yeah, and
So
this is the thing. Like, people get upset at, like, I don't know, clickbait titles or whatever you want to call it. Like, it wasn't his intention to do that, but like,
oh no. I mean, the thing is,
all tides lift boats. Like, we all gotta.
it's
more
promotion. I want you to click on my video.
That's it.
I want you to click on my video. It is what it is. But
yeah, if he's doing well, they'll find us eventually.
that's the thing. It's a slow burn, bro. I think I made like, oh man, I think at least like 50 videos before I hit 100 subscribers. Yeah. I'm thinking 50 videos, and I just kept putting out content because I was like, I want to get my thoughts out there. I have a lot of things I want to talk about, but I wasn't just talking about One Piece. I was talking about Fairy Tail. I was talking about Uchiha Totoro. I was talking about Incredibles about to be on the way. Bleach.
I was never on that Fairy Tail train because the time I got into like the community, it was already like over.
Yeah. So yeah, by that point, Fairy Tail was over. But for me, like,
it wasn't over, but like people were like, "This is trash."
People are off. People are over it. Yeah, people are over it. Well, the thing is, for Fairy Tail, I really like the anime because the anime is funny to me.
Okay.
So I really always enjoyed the anime. So that's what I would always talk about. I mean, sometimes I would try to touch on the manga, but it was kind of slow. So I always went back to the anime. And then also I tried to make an AMV, but I use Windows Movie Maker.
Right.
And it literally took me like 48 hours of editing to kind of.
How'd it go out? Was it all right?
It came out. It has more likes than dislikes. I say that.
Okay.
And I was so proud of it because the thing is, what had happened, the file had gotten corrupted after all that time.
Oh damn.
So I had to figure out a way to kind of make it work. So I remember, it always get corrupted when I was rendering it in the Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah.
So then it would take like 20 hours to render.
Right.
So I remember at one time it was rendering and I brought my laptop to work and I had it in my car rendering because I wanted to just keep checking up on it. So it was wild, but then I put it out and some people were like, oh man, you made an AMV. It was like, yo, this channel is great. You're making AMVs, but I'm like, wow. So it was just fun getting a reaction. I think the next video, which is hilarious, that's when I got like kind of like my breakthrough, I would say,
right?
Because it was the Grand Fleet, right?
Okay. Yeah.
It was the Grand Fleet, and the title. I remember I got off work, and I was like, I'm gonna do a live reaction to this. I just like I don't know why I just want to do a live. I think it was my first live reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like 30 minutes long. And I remember I titled it Luffy, the Fifth Yonko. That was the title of the chapter.
Yeah, I saw that tweet the other day.
yeah. I was like, Luffy, the Fifth Yonko. And of course, people was like, oh, it can't be Fifth Yonko.
Yeah,
He's like, yo, Yonko is 4. And I was like, all right. I was like, whatever. I mean, that's just how I felt about it when it got to Fleet.
Yeah.
And that, off of that video, I remember I was at work the next day and I think I had like 30 subscribers. Then I remember I got to 40, then it's like 45, then 60. I was like, what is going on? And that video kind of, it got to like over 1,000. I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
Yeah. People on the outside that just watch the videos be like, oh, 20,000 views isn't much, but like to us, that like when you just
that's amazing.
Like 100 is huge. Like people.
The thing is, I feel like people have kind of seen some meteoric rises, right? Yeah. Like where some people they come on YouTube, and of course, like sometimes it's just luck, and you come at the right time, you have the right content, and you blow up, right? Yeah. And then they're like, oh, why can't you just blow up like this guy? And it's like, well, it doesn't work that way for everyone. So
how do you feel about the community these days, and like where do you think the community is going? Because it's getting a little bit hot, a little bit heated at the moment with like new people coming in, maybe don't really understand what One Piece is really about. Do you think it's getting too big, or do you think like people will understand what it's about? Like this isn't Naruto or Dragon Ball,
I think what was happening, the community is I think it's at a great place as far as like interest and conversation, and people just caring about One Piece and talking about One Piece.
Yeah.
The issue is you have people from the old generation and the new generation of One Piece fans.
Yeah.
You have the people post Marineford and people before Marineford that's been with the series. So people before Marineford, no matter what happens in One Piece, it's still One Piece. It's still good. Because you know how Oda is. You've trusted in Oda this long.
Yeah.
But if you've been reading and watching One Piece for 2 years and you're in Whole Cake Island and you see Bobbin and you see Tamago, you're like, who are these stupid characters? Like, we don't care about this. It's like, and then that causes a lot of conflict. But I think that conflict, when it doesn't go there, it's great conversation. And also the community, it's connected like it's never been before.
Right.
Where you can speak to the biggest guys in the community. Like, I remember 2 years ago, I remember King Recon had like 3,000 subscribers.
Fucking love that guy.
Right, King Recon is fucking awesome.
Love King Recon.
Right, and I was like, I wanted to contact King Recon, and there's no way to get in contact with him.
Right.
I mean, I could comment on this video, but he had so many comments, like he's not responding to me. You know, so like I remember Legend Mac, I couldn't contact Legend Mac. Then eventually Legend Mac commented on one of my videos. I was like, whoa. Yeah. It's like, yo, you know, and then we kind of, you know, built a friendship from there. But now it's on Twitter. You can just add somebody like, hey, Joy Boy, blah, blah, blah. And respond, you know, so it's like, it's more connected than ever before. But because of the great influx of like all these people coming in that, of course, Naruto had ended, Bleach has ended. It's like, all right, what's next? Like, okay, let me just read this One Piece thing. And then also, we can't forget about the people that they are making One Piece videos solely to blow up and to make money. So into it, you know? They're not really that into it, but they're like, they care enough to the point where they can make videos about it, and the videos are doing well, so they're gonna make money. So then, but you know, you can kind of tell. But I mean, I think the community is in a place where it's great for conversation, but you just can't get to the too crazy with some of the conversations.
I go into Discord and sometimes, woo,
oh man, listen,
spicy in there.
I love the Discord, like I love it. But sometimes I stay away just because of, man, like the some of the conversations are just so absurd. Yeah. But when I think about it, say One Piece is on break, they really have nothing to talk about. Yeah. Somebody's like, hey, what if Luffy didn't have his Devil Fruit? Could he beat Zoro?
I mean,
then it's like,
I find it always goes into like, nah, man, Sanji got an owl and Zoro's stronger. Like, it always just goes
of course,
into that.
Sanji versus Zoro, Mihawk versus Shanks, you know, Yonka versus Admirals, shit like that.
Speaking of Shanks, this podcast is the Red Force podcast. We love Shanks here.
Yeah. I
want to get your read on the strength of the God King Shanks. What do you think? What do we think his powers are? How strong is this man? What is his deal?
The God King Shanks. I like that. Well, Shanks, I think, honestly, could be the strongest character in the series. Yeah. Like, no question, right now. But the thing is, he has some things on his resume that people go back to him where I'm like, come on, you can't do this. Right. The fact that he lost his arm to a Sea King. Okay. And the other fact that Blackbeard scarred him pre-Devil Fruit. The Sea King thing, we know that's more symbolism than anything. The Blackbeard scarring him, we don't know what Blackbeard is capable of yet. Yeah. But as far as Shanks' strength, we know Shanks is a Yonko. And think about the other Yonko for a second. Kaido, he's a thing. Big Mom, she's a freak, literally. Yeah. Then we can go to Whitebeard, the world's strongest man. He was absurd. He was a monster. And you go to Shanks, and you're like, he looks regular. He looks normal.
A guy with one arm, you know? Like,
he's a guy with one arm. He has a regular build. He's not super tall.
Yeah, he's not 4
you know, he's a regular guy. Yeah. And he had the balls to basically broke through Whitebeard's fleet and went on Whitebeard's ship by himself. And basically was scolding Whitebeard. Yeah. He came to Marineford to say, if anybody wants to fight, you can fight us with 10 guys. I
think everyone just assumes that he's a hockey master.
Hockey master. Yeah. I mean, It has to be, because we don't think he has a devil fruit.
Right.
Because he was making fun of Luffy not being able to swim. So he has to be a hockey master. And of course, to be able to, because he had a duel with Mihawk and it was of legendary proportions, and Mihawk is the greatest swordsman alive. And he has skills to keep up with the world's best swordsman.
Yeah. So
And I imagine to have like immense strength, right? Immense strength, and having great hockey. I think he, like, pound for pound, could be the strongest character in the series.
Do you think he's
100%.
We have Big Mom, we have Blackbeard, we have Kaido, not really the fastest characters in the series. Do you think he's a speed emperor? Do you think
I think speed would definitely be a great thing for him. Yeah. Speed, utilizing speed, and definitely having a great hockey. I think those two things have to be necessary for him, to kind of, because he has to basically contend with legitimate monsters. Big Mom at 5 years old wiped out a village of giants.
Similar to Gold Roger, and he's captain, like Roger's just a regular guy as well.
Looks like a regular guy. He wasn't overly tall. He wasn't. So, but then the thing is, like, with Luffy having this title now, it bring down the, I guess, the integrity of the Yonko title. Per se, because like, well, dang, you have Luffy as a Yonko, and he's not. We know he's not on that tier. He's not on that level.
Written it so the reader knows that Luffy's not ready, but the world thinks that Luffy's ready.
Yeah. That's intentional, 100% intentional. Because when you look at it and saying, well, Luffy beat Katakuri, and Katakuri had over 1 billion berry bounty. How did she beat Big Mom's third commander, over 800 million, and he beat Big Mom's right hand, over 1 billion berries. So when you think about it, like, this happened in a span of like 2 days or so. Yeah. What? It's crazy when you think about it. Without context, it looks like Luffy is a monster. Right. And if, like, you're using the fact that he had, they said that he was commanding Capone. He was commanding Jerma.
His charisma and intelligence.
His charisma and intelligence. He planned the entire thing. And someone brought up a good point on my recent video. They said, also, Brago, the tobacco box, it could have been implied, because Big News Morgan saw it blow up. It could have been implied that Luffy gave it to Big Mom, anticipating it blowing up. So that's why he invaded her territory.
Stussy demanded that Big News didn't share the tomato box.
So it's just like, everything that's happened, it seems like it's premeditated, but it was honestly just luck. Yeah. And how he portrayed it and presented it, everybody's going like, whoa, this guy Luffy's amazing.
It's crazy to think where we've come from, Like,
I mean, bro, when I was reading the chapter, I was honestly, I was getting kind of emotional a little bit, just because of, I thought about Luffy popping out of that barrel. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And just how simple he was. Like, I want to be Pirate King. And you're like, all right, it's your story, but you have a long way to go, man. And then especially seeing what happened at Marineford and how they showed him, you're not even close. Yeah. Like, you're not, like, you don't, like, they were basically telling him, like, you probably shouldn't be here, but but tenacity is keeping you here, right? Yeah. Look at Impel Down. Yeah. He had no answer for Magellan. Like, nothing.
Magellan's got that bastard devil fruit, like.
Oh my god! Like, I was just reading the SBS on Magellan, and somebody asked Oda, like, is Magellan a Paramecia, a Logia? This is SBS volume 68. Yeah. Is he a Paramecia, a Logia? Like, what is he? He's like, I know a lot of people think Magellan's a Logia, but Magellan, he's a Paramecia because his body's not poison, but he just produces a lot of poison. He's like, what's the sad part about Magellan? He spends more time on the toilet than anywhere else. Really so it's just like, So that's the thing where Magellan, he's broken, and especially in the confines of Impel Down, like, nobody's contesting him. Yeah. But it's like he has a huge drawback. But as far as like Luffy, where he is now, it's incredible. It's really incredible. Like his fight with Katakuri and seeing like how much he persevered through that. Of course, I'm a huge Katakuri fan. But I think it made sense for Katakuri to look at this guy based on his backstory, because he was kind of like Luffy a little bit. Yeah.
It's interesting
where he's like,
the community world on Katakuri and not really like understanding his character fully. I think everyone's clear on it now by the flashback.
people. The thing is, here's the thing with the fan base and this community in particular. When you're a One Piece fan and you start liking someone a bit too much, then you have people that start hating said character because you like them.
Yeah.
So like when Katakuri was introduced, he was sitting down. He said what the guy was gonna say. He's a jelly bean. He was just an amazing like badass.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, oh, he's not that cool. Like he's just So Luffy beating him, they were reveling in that. But it's like, come on, guys. Like Katakuri is still a great character. Look at his backstory. Like he basically sacrificed his whole personality, his whole self for his family.
Yeah, he's one of the great.
That's why he did it.
Of the verse, you know. He's
a great
character.
He's great. Like, bro, even like stabbing himself.
Yeah.
To basically say, you know what, I'm not taking this like easy W, which is he easily could have done. He stabbed himself, and then even like after the fact, his whole relationship with Brule, which is that was beautiful. It's like I don't understand why people just want to be contrarian so bad. Where it's like even though a character is great, you find every reason to try to hate them. So, but it is what it is with that.
Whole Cake Island, what was that? 70 something chapters is what long was it?
Yeah, over 70 chapters.
So over 70 chapters. We assume what, 10 years left to One Piece or something?
At least.
Right,
I think at least 10 years.
We're gonna say Wano is what, 3 years?
Yeah, I'd say 3 years. 100% 3 years.
Where does Elbaf and the Shanks arc fit in before the final war? Because there's pieces that I can't really put together at the moment. I don't know where we're going after Wano at the moment. It's kind of hard to tell.
I was thinking about that the other day as far as when do you show Shanks? When does Luffy meet Shanks? And do you have him meet Shanks? Do you have Blackbeard defeat Shanks before he meets him again so that he can't give back the Straw Hat? And I think after Wano, because I think if Kaido falls here, or if something huge has to happen again for Luffy to make the newspaper, right. And at that point, if he solidifies his spot as a Yonko, because Shanks didn't say, "Hey, we're ready to meet." Shanks is like, "Oh, you're a Yonko, but we can meet soon. You still have a ways to go." So for Luffy, I think that Wano is the deciding factor here. So once he gets through Wano, if Kaido falls, he gets that credit. Then I'm thinking it's a small mini arc where he could meet Shanks there.
I'm thinking the Shanks arc, because we know they're not going to be fighting each other in any meaningful way. They might have a little or something.
Exactly. Yeah. I think Shanks is going to test him.
Yeah, I think the Shanks arcs will serve as a training arc for the Straw Hat.
Precisely.
To get them to the final push they need to be the.
Because the thing is, if Luffy's the guy Shanks been waiting for, don't you want to like make sure that everything that you've been seeing isn't fake news?
And you got Usopp there as well for Usopp for training as well.
Of course,
I think it'll be the final push to get Luffy up to scratch for the.
Yeah, that may be it. And it'd be cool if they also introduce
Does that happen in Elbaf?
Scopper's Gabon.
Yeah, does that happen in Elbaf? Like I don't know where these arcs fit into each other. That's the thing. Like it's kind of hard to tell.
Here's the thing. Do you see? I think Shanks, after Wano has been liberated, he could go to Wano.
Yeah, definitely.
He could go to Wano.
The speculation is that Whitebeard's graves in Wano.
Yes, that is speculation. But the thing is, Shanks. I know Shanks has been to Wano before.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah, so Shanks has been to Wano before. Yeah. So it's like if Shanks goes to Wano and then he confronts Luffy there, because it could be he could paint it in the way like, I'm about to claim Wano as my territory, where like they don't know who it is. It's like this strong fruit pulls up, and then all of a sudden the Straw Hats they're fighting. It's like, oh, it's Shanks, right. And then Shanks they have a moment, and then Shanks is like, no, keep it. This is your hat now. You've earned it. Mm-hmm. And then after that, he goes after Blackbeard because he knows like, okay, Luffy's ready. In case I fail, he can carry it on.
Okay.
And of course, we are not going to see the Blackbeard and Shanks fight just because Oda. He doesn't want to show everything that Blackbeard has.
Blackbeard's gonna be saved for a while.
Yeah. So like even this chapter, Blackbeard was in the chapter,
He wasn't.
but we only saw silhouettes.
You sure?
Yeah,
You sure his beard a little bit of his beard, not quite much.
His beard, I think, is gonna be glorious.
My brother is convinced that he's the pirate with the eye patch as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like Marco took out his eye in the war or something.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
He's like the perfect image of like a pirate in the end of the series.
That would be great for Marco because right now Marco is not. He's not the popular.
I say this all the time. Like when Marco comes back into the story, he'll be up to scratch as a second commander. I feel like they got shortchanged because it was like pre-time skip. You know, there's power creep in the series. That kind of thing.
Yeah, but also think about this: if Luffy, let's say Luffy went against a kid in his crew, but take away Luffy, take away Zoro, take away Frankie, and then go into it with Sanji as the captain. Let's just say that, or even keep Zoro, take away Sanji. Yeah. So you have Zoro, no Luffy, no Sanji. Yeah. Like, how do you, you go into this? Like, they lost Whitebeard, they lost Ace, they lost Thatch, and Blackbeard is from their crew.
Yeah. Well,
what?
There's a shitload of commanders and stuff, so there's a lot of people that are.
Yeah, there's a lot of commanders, but it always comes down to the main crew, and at that point, they were just fighting for pride because there's no way they could have thought they were gonna win. The only reason why Mark was being considered for Yonko with Blackbeard was because, of course, his influence and all that stuff in territories, and it's like, oh, he's inheriting like Whitebeard's territory, so he makes sense to be next up. 100%. But as far as like mano a mano, and then we have the whole Aokiji being a part of Blackbeard's crew. Man,
surely Aokiji has to be a part of the Revolutionary Army. Surely he's not just a part of Blackbeard's crew. Like,
I think Oda could go that route. He could go either the Revolutionaries or basically undercover for the World Cup.
Kuzan's personality. No one sees him being on Blackbeard's crew. Like,
but Blackbeard even said it. Blackbeard even said, "I don't trust him."
No one trusts him with his crew anyway.
It's like Blackbeard's like, I don't trust him. Like, but he's here. So.
What do you expect from this Reverie arc? Because I think expectations are getting a little bit out of hand.
Oh man, it is getting crazy.
I think it's gonna be 10 chapters maybe, and I think maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
We won't get a lot of details about what people want. That's like endgame stuff that Oda won't touch on for a while.
I think we're gonna get the questions, but not the answers. Like, they're gonna have them asking the questions, but Oda's not gonna show us what they answer.
I was thinking about this. You know how Luffy's only got one territory at the moment, which is Fishman Island. Do you think that maybe the kingdoms that Luffy saved will declare him as their protector in the Reverie via some means? Do you think that's a possibility?
100%, but I think they have to be careful. Yeah. Like, especially Cobra.
Yeah, Cobra's got the death flag over him already.
You know what I mean? He has a death flag right now, and it's like, man, he can't be too reckless. He really can't be too reckless because also Vivi, his heir apparent, is a female. Yeah. And it's like, I'm like, if they just appoint her a suitor, like a prince, so they can control Alabasta, they're like, it is what it is. Also, like, he's gonna ask about the poneglyph, and it's like, they don't want to talk about that. Yeah. And they're like, why are you asking about that? Because then they have to expose Ohara. Yeah. So that's not something they want to do. But as far as like the end game stuff, as far as like what the Void Sentry is, and no, we're not getting any of that. That's like I said, that's end game. That's like we're gonna find out at the same time Luffy finds out. Yeah. But I do think we get some interesting Fishman Island stuff.
Okay, and people talk about Dragon. Thoughts on him turning up in the Reverie? Is that a possibility?
Well, I was saying that Dragon, if he turns up, it's not to do anything. Yeah. He's gonna turn up to put them on notice. Yeah. Like to let them know that I could have done something. Like, but I am doing something. You just don't know what it is. But I'm here. I think it's going to be an epic speech from Dragon. That's when he declares war. Because I don't think he's ever declared war on the world government. You know about the revolutionaries. You know their goal. But has Dragon ever come out and say, now is the time? Okay. because now as all his commanders are moving, something is going to happen. But I think he's just positioning them to make moves. I don't think he's. What's the point of doing anything at the reverie?
Yeah.
What do you get done?
It's not much. You're not gonna.
You're just like the. If you kill like some of the world leaders at the world government, how are you any different?
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean? Like if you do it that way, how are you any different than them?
It's gonna be interesting to see how like the revolutionaries play into like how Luffy's plot plays out as well, because at some time they'll have to be an alliance to get things done. I'd imagine. You don't want a 3-4 faction war at the end, surely. You want people pairing up.
This is something I was always questioning, where what happens after Dragon takes over, right? Because Dragon, he was kind of impressed with Luffy becoming a pirate. He's like, oh, that's okay too, you know.
How does Dragon's vision not get corrupted at the end of the day anyway? Like.
Exactly. It was, and then for you to want to take over the world government, pirates are honestly a problem.
Yeah.
We look at Luffy, we're like, oh, pirates aren't that bad. They just want to be free. Luffy's an exception.
I mean, look at Kid.
Like we heard what. Look at Kid. Is
just murdering people.
Yeah, look at what Capone was doing. Man. Capone was like just taking the heads of like popular and important individuals. Where pirates like they want to be free, but when freedom for some people equates to like doing whatever the hell I want to do without authority. So for Dragon, how do you kind of control that? And if you can't just like point out every pirate except your son. Because, especially if he's a pirate king, how do you exclude him?
I was watching Film Gold again the other day. Have you seen Film Gold?
Yeah.
You know when
I have
Zabo and Rob Lucci clash?
Oh my god.
Rob Lucci asks Zabo, "What is this your justice?" And Zabo replies, "No, this is my freedom," which is an interesting take on what the are about. You know, they're not about justice. They're about freedom.
They're about freedom.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, how do you?
That it's world economics that we'll probably never get into in the One Piece series. There's like so many options. Like right now, we're just finally understanding how the newspaper works, let alone like the inner workings of a government.
Because the thing is, like, how it's no way to control this. You cannot preach freedom, but pirates like doing the things that they do. Like that's, I don't know. It seems like impossible for you to have that message with pirates going around. But
it's a hard question to answer that I don't think we'll ever see the ramifications of, because by the time that happens, the series is going to be done.
This is true. Yeah. This is true. You're probably not going to get anything about it. So, you're right about that.
What's the one thing that you definitely 100% want to see in Wano? What's the one thing that you must have in
Wano? I would say one thing that we must have is redemption for Kid.
Right.
I think you have, but the thing is how Oda's going with the story now with Luffy's, declared a Yonko. You have to drum up at least some level of, I don't know, tension with his contemporaries of the worst generation, where they do something. Like have them do something. You can't just have like someone like Kid. You had Kid Law and Luffy portrayed to be at least on the same level.
Okay.
And Law has done something. Law has made a name for himself.
Yeah.
Kid, like you haven't showcased him in the way that you have with Law and Luffy at all. Mm-hmm. Like from what we saw from Kid, first of all, you kind of undermined his bounty by saying, well, he has his bounty, but his bounty is only higher than yours because he kills civilians, right? So people kind of ran with that. Was like, well, he's probably not stronger than Luffy. Bounty isn't just strength, but then we had, Kid was attacking Big Mom's ships. He attacked Big Mom's territory, and he lost an arm somehow, right? Kid then he formed an alliance with Apu and Hawkins, right? Then he goes to he runs into Kaido, and apparently he gets mollywopped by Kaido, and now he's in a cage when we see him again. So the betrayal of Kid has been pretty much the opposite of what Luffy has been portrayed to be. Yeah. And you would think to drum up some interest, some of the things that Luffy has done, you would think Kid would have done some of those things. Mm-hmm. Like you would think Kid would be the one to, blow up the flag and declare war on the world government.
Yeah.
You would think Kid would invade Imperial Down and release the prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you would think Kid will be the person to invade Marineford just to make a name for himself. But it's been Luffy.
Similar to Capone in Whole Cake Island, where we got a fleshed out character. I think we'll get that for Kid in Wano. He might be
We
the
need that.
focus point of the supernova.
100%. We 100% need that because he has not gotten a lot of publicity at all.
I just want to put to bed like any speculation about his strength or what he can do, because it's like it's hard to tell like how strong the man is just based off his devil fruit.
Yeah, and then we don't even know the name of it. We don't know exactly what it does.
Yeah.
So for Kid, we need to get the name of his fruit, what it does. We need to see some top tier attacks, because it was crazy because I was talking in another stream last night, and they were like, "Oh man, Apu versus Kid would be a great fight," and I was like, I don't know. So randomly, I started Googling it, right?
Yep.
And apparently, they've done experiments where magnetism can control heat and sound.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, I don't think that fight is as close as people previously
This is the
thought.
thing with like One Piece though. Do we think that Kid's magnetism, whatever he has, is gonna go that deep into science? I'm not sure.
The thing is, like, because of what Oda has done with Luffy's devil fruit,
Yeah.
it's like he's made it so.
You can.
Oh my god, he made Luffy Gear Second and blood doping. Like what? So it's like, so we always kind of involve and kind of include these intricacies, and introduce them when we talk about devil fruit and devil fruit awakenings. Because like what Luffy, look how innovative Luffy is. But of course, no, everybody isn't Luffy. But for Kid, I look at Law. Law has mess.
Like, the strangest devil fruit that ever existed.
And he has some amazing attacks from Radio Knife, Gamma Knife, Counter Shock. Like he has a lot of great attacks where it's like, okay, if you can do that with Law, look at Katakuri. Katakuri, he was able to do grilled mochi, where he just combust out of nowhere. He had dice mochi. Obviously, what is Peerless Donuts? Yeah. What is that? It's he great. Basically, you had punches coming out of different dimensions. Yeah. So if Oda's doing that with these characters, I think you definitely have to flesh Kid out and give him something for people to question it and say, hey, wait. You know, if he was in Luffy's position, would he be a Yonko as well?
Because everyone was sleeping on Capone, man. No one liked Capone. Now everyone's like, I love Capone. Like he's a fun character.
What we saw from Capone was only thing we saw was the Sabaody stuff.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh wow, that's cool. He had people inside him, and like we shot something, they got bigger. Like, oh, that's kind of interesting. But he's weak though. Like he can't do anything. Like his fruit is like a group thing. Yeah. But after seeing Capone, his personality, even his crew was hilarious. It was like Big Father. You saw like what his hobbies were to pretty much take down like strong individuals. It's like, hey, Capone's a pretty cool character. And then even his family, like he married what's his name? Chiffon, and had a baby. Pez already has like 5 o'clock shadow at like 2 years old. It's crazy. Yeah. You know, it's like that's so One Piece, but you really fell in love with Capone. And I feel like I don't know how endearing Kid is gonna be, but when I think about Kid, I think about Bakugo. I don't know if you read or watch My Hero.
Yeah, I know Bakugo.
Right. So Bakugo, when I first started reading My Hero, I absolutely despised Bakugo because he was just so annoying. Like he was just upset for no apparent reason. Yeah. Recently, Bakugo has undergone like a metamorphosis, or you could say he's in the process of just growing up so much where now you like how savage he is, right? Okay. You still love that, but it's more rational. Where a Kid, I don't know if this thing with Kaido could humble him in a way, but I know if people like Zoro and how Zoro is, I think once people see how Kid is, because I expect Kid to have some one-liners as well, where Luffy's gonna be like, yeah, let's not kill anyone. And then Kid is probably gonna be like, yo, killer. He does not know that's what we do. You know, it's just like gonna be something crazy like that, where people are gonna start liking Kid. But right now, the One Piece community, if you take an L, you're trash. Yeah. If you take a W, you're a god. That's just how it works.
And you know, they spin the situation just to suit what they want either way.
Remove context. They remove context. 100%. Like that's always happens.
Speaking of L's and whatever, talk to me about Sanji this arc. What were you content? Were you disappointed?
All right, so
yeah, like what do you think about Sanji?
So my personal opinion is Sanji. Like Sanji is one of my favorite characters. Like he's top 5.
Yeah.
He maybe like second or third.
Sure.
And I always like the fact that Sanji, first, he's a ladies' man. He's hilarious. Like his interactions with Nami and Robin and just the entire crew is always funny. He definitely cares about his crew. He's always saving the crew. He doesn't fight with his hands. He's like handicapping himself.
Yeah.
Some of his attacks are just so beautiful and glorious to watch. I just like what he stands for. I mean, we saw his backstory. That made me really like Sanji a lot more. His backstory in this arc, seeing everything he went through, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was really just like touching for me. And the thing is, for Sanji, I think everything that happened in this arc was, status quo for what Sanji does. Like, he saves women. He's gonna come in at the last minute and he's gonna do something to ultimately help the situation. That happens every single arc. He's essential for that. Zoro is the badass that has the one-liners and defeats the second strongest guy and just, does it in a savage way. And the reason why I was disappointed was that I was hoping that Sanji had his moment that could shut up some of these fanboys that just continuously hate on Sanji. It's like, oh, he's trash. He doesn't get a fight. And that's the reason why I wanted him to get it. Not necessarily because he needed it, but just to shut up the fan base. Yeah. And I think Oda felt the same thing. Mm-hmm. That's why he had this whole bounty at the end. It was like, oh, it's 330.
And I think he'll get
Zoro's 320
in Wano. Like it's already
of course
he's got the raid suit.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
For me, for Sanji's like also like one of my favorite characters on the show.
Yeah,
he'd probably be around the same position. But like the thing to me is like put all the fights aside that he didn't get, or all the feats that people wanted. The biggest disappointment for me was in his character when he didn't really believe in Luffy at the start of the arc. And I feel like we're this deep into the series, like he's been with the crew for so long, he should have that belief that almost the rest of the crew does. Like,
I agree 100%. Where it felt redundant. It was like we've been through this at Baratier. Like we went through this.
It felt like no matter the stakes, you should be believing in.
You go down with the ship, right? But I think what happened was once he got back in that situation, I think the traumatic experience that it was, it humbled him back to a little kid.
Yeah. So
Sanji, he would never say this, but he's terrified of his family based on the experiences he went through. He got basically exiled to a cage where he had a mask on the entire time, like for a long time as a child. Yeah. So I think as soon as his family was mentioned, these traumatic experiences came back. And of course, Oda would never go into like medical disorders like anxiety and, things like that. But I think the anxiety of just possibly going through that again, where he would put his crew, which is his family now, through that, he was like, I'd rather sacrifice my entire life than to have them be anywhere associated with these people. Yeah. Like, so I think with Sanji, people say, oh, Sanji didn't believe in Luffy. Of course, yeah, he definitely did not believe in Luffy. And it's like, well, come on, you gotta believe in Luffy. But he also was willing to sacrifice his life. He was like, yo, I'm sacrificing my dream, my life, everything if you leave my crew alone. Let them continue. I do not want them to be associated with this at all, because I think all those traumatic experiences built up and just totally, it kind of messed his head up, where he went back to how he felt as a kid. That's why his conversations with Reiju, those were so profound, because Reiju was saying, yo, you're a good guy. Like, I know you're a nice person. He's just like, oh man, like you don't know me. I don't want to be associated with you guys. It broke him. It definitely broke him.
It's a good point to bring up that like he did sacrifice himself for the crew, but on the other hand, like he didn't believe in Luffy, which is like it's an interesting point to think about, and Sanji's character as well. Like he's always kind of like that self-sacrificial character.
Yeah, 100%. Like people talk about Zoro, like everything that happened with Kuma and taking the pain. people forget that Sanji, he tried to do it. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, I got this. And then Zoro knocked him out, but Sanji tried to do it. So they both have some of the similar traits as far as loyalty, but I feel like Sanji has a bit more depth into like just being a human.
Yeah, Zoro isn't really a fleshed out character. He's more of he's more of a hype piece.
Exactly.
The hype guy.
And I think he's going to be fleshed out as the series goes on, especially when we get to Wano. I think that's going to happen. But for right now, Zoro is like, he's a badass, and he's. I don't think he acts like a badass. I think he is truly a badass. So people love that.
So everyone knows you love Doflamingo.
Yeah.
Well, what is it about Dofi that you love? Like, what
man,
is the character that you love so much?
Oh man, Doflamingo. The thing is with Doflamingo, I think the main thing I like about Doflamingo is the fact that in adversity, it doesn't matter. He's still smiling.
Right.
Like, of course, he has the veins and he has that frown, which is like, but then it always goes back to a smile where it's like, okay. And I also liked how connected he was to everybody.
Right.
Like from every level, Doflamingo, he had his strings attached. And from Celestial Dragons to the Underworld to Yonko to Shichibukai to other warlords, it was just like, yo, this guy is connected to everyone. And of course, I like the contrast of him and Corazon, where it showed like how two people who could grow up in the same household, go through these same experiences, can be just so different.
Yeah, definitely.
Where Doflamingo, he went the route of revenge, and Corazon, he went the route of basically just fixing it. I want to do it so that this doesn't happen to anyone else. Yeah. And I like with Doflamingo also, he had ambitions, he had goals, and he fucking loved chaos. Like in the midst of Marineford, he's fucking like he's like celebrating, like, oh my god, this is amazing, like this is great. And of course I liked how he was a boss as well. He had his whole family. Of course back then he had the fucking dapper ass suit. Again, I just like personality wise how he was, overall how he was as a character. Of course the fact that he had every form of hockey. He was a conquering king as well. I feel like, and then also some of his speeches and how he viewed One Piece, where one could argue Doflamingo should have some info on the Void Century, because he was saying such profound things like every time. Like he was so profound that Suru, after arresting him, proceeded to ask him, what do you think was going to happen? Yeah. And Doflamingo, that's when he went into the Throne War speech. Amazing.
What do you think Doflamingo's secret is about the Celestial Dragons? What do you think that secret is that he's holding over them?
Void Century stuff.
Void Century?
I think he has information that would reveal them to be a lot smaller than they really are. Right. But the thing is, I think he wasn't revealing it yet because he was still benefiting from the fact that they were there. He wanted to get to the position where he could bring them down before he exposed them. But the thing is, they did not want to be exposed, so they let them get by. But I think the Void Century stuff, as far as like how they attain power, I think Doflamingo knows all about that, and I think that's what he's holding over their head.
Yeah. There's this theory going on that the Shichibukai system's already been disbanded via a small picture on the newspaper
of Weevil.
Do you give credence to this theory, and what do you think Fujitora's role is going to be maybe in Wano?
I think that theory is actually pretty solid. But I think if it's not disbanded altogether, Weevil is probably kicked out. I think Weevil's goal, he didn't give a damn about the Shichibukai. He wanted the Whitebeard prize. He wanted to prove that he was actually Whitebeard's son. So let's say Weevil, came across a Whitebeard pirate or Whitebeard allied captain in a inhabited area with a lot of people. He doesn't care. He's going to do whatever he wants to do to get that person. And I think one of my speculations was that like he has like a landslide fruit, something like that.
Okay,
similar to Whitebeard's, where it's like if he uses his fruit on actual land, it's causing a lot of damage. So I think it could be also Weevil is the first one that they're releasing, because also in that page in the newspaper we saw Vegapunk.
Right.
And Vegapunk could have had a breakthrough in which they now have something to supplement the Shichibukai, where it's something that they can control, where they don't have to deal with these personalities. Because when you think about the Shichibukai, you have Mihawk, who doesn't care, Doflamingo, who is obviously using them, Crocodile, who is using them, Boa Hancock, who's just using them for protection, Jinbei as well, Buggy, who doesn't deserve to be a Shichibukai, Kuma. Like, you have a bunch of characters here that they don't care about the world government. They're just using them. And the world government, they know this, but they need the power so bad to maintain this balance. Right. They're like, all right, we just gotta deal with it. And I think that's how Akainu is gonna operate. Okay.
So what do you think Fujitora is gonna do in the short term? Because we know he's after Luffy. Do you think he's gonna turn up at some point? Do you think I don't know. I don't think he's gonna be at the river, because I don't think Akainu.
No point. Yeah, there's no point in him being there. And of course, if you do that, you're basically straight up you're basically spitting in Akainu's face. Yeah. Like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna show up to the reverie because I don't give a no. So I think with Fujitora, he's going to go to Wano. But I think with Luffy's current status, because Fujitora is going there unofficially, Akainu may have to send someone else officially. Okay. So Fujitora is going to Wano, and I think you have the introduction of Green Bull, where you don't see his face, but you may see a silhouette, or you see a jacket or something, a coat. You see that, but I think you have to, at this point, if you're saying that Luffy's a Yonko, I know Wano is closed off, even if it's on unofficial business, like, you have to send some people there. I know Smoker is probably going to request to go with Fujitora, because they're within Fujitora as well. Right. So I think that Fujitora is definitely going to Wano, because that's where if the thing is, for Wano to be spectacular, right, you have to have marine presence. I think Whole Cake, that's something that was missing, honestly, where, of course, you had Stussy there, and she's CP0, but with marine presence there, it was always that third party that always threw a wrinkle in things, which was like, it was kind of unexpected. It's like, with this one, with Wano, if we have Kaido's crew, we have all the Supernovas there, we have Smoker returning, we have Fujitora there, and you introduce Green Bull, I think that's the makings of an amazing arc.
It's a lot of characters, man.
A lot. I mean, look at, if Oda can introduce all these kids for Big Mom, I'm sure he can handle like all these characters definitely in Wano, because we expect Wano to be a very long arc. So I'm cool.
I'm not down with the people saying 200 chapters, but I could say 120, 130, something like that. I don't know if anything could be good for 200 chapters. You know what I mean? Like, eventually,
so
tired. That's fine.
In the SPS as well, 68. Yeah. Oda was gushing over his names, what he named Kinemon and Momonosuke. Right. Apparently it's from some
the story.
Some story. Yeah. And he was like, oh my God. He's like, yes, how did you know? He's like, I can't wait to write it in Wano. He's like, I fear all my interests are going to be revealed when I when I write Wano, when I draw Wano. So Oda has been waiting. This is 68. Oda has been waiting for a while to just talk about Wano. Yeah. So I think he's gonna pour everything into Wano.
I hope everything. It gets rid of the seducing woods part of the arc, but what I mean by that is him explaining the island and what's happening.
Yeah.
I hope everyone's on the same island as well, so it reduces travel time, so he can pick up the pace a little bit as well.
Yeah, I think this declaration from Big News, I think this is an indication that the pace is going to be quickened, just because it wouldn't make sense if it's not, right? It doesn't make sense for Luffy to now be basically revered as a Yonko by Big News Morgans, who should be the most credible source in the One Piece verse, but we know that's actually the contrary. I want to make a video on that actually, because Big News Morgans, you have to now question how credible he is, because from knowing what we know about how Stussy manipulates him in the news, right? Yeah. and then also him putting this out about Luffy because he's kind of biased towards Luffy. It's like, is Big News Morgan's really like, can you trust? I mean, we already knew we couldn't trust the news, but can you even trust him? I don't think you can trust him. So
it's interesting to think about like how the One Piece world works in the grand scheme of things. Like you've got all the other underworld brokers that didn't really come into play as well.
Yeah, that's the thing where another thing was when they talked about Luffy wanting to meet all the Whitebeard pirates. Oda said that, oh yeah, that didn't happen. Oh well. And it's like I feel like Oda has plans for things to happen, but then as he starts writing, he's like, I want to do this, and this, and he never really gets around to doing the things, some of the things that Luffy says he wants to do.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that for Wano, because of Oda and how much he's been planning it for so long, I think it's going to be just amazingly fleshed out. I think that's what's going to happen.
Do you think Luffy is going to take out Kaido and get the credit, or do we think it's going to be a team effort? Or do we think, because my theory on Wano is that Luffy's going to upgrade his armament haki in Wano, as well as kind of, can I see Kaido being taken out? Sure, but what does that really mean? Do you knock him out? Do you capture him? Do you kill him? What does it mean to defeat Kaido? I think that's kind of the question.
It's funny. I saw what's his name? Deku versus Muscular in My Hero this recent weekend or yesterday. And Muscular basically said to Deku, "You're the inferior version of me."
Yeah.
Right? Where let's say Kaido is a brawler like Luffy.
Yeah. And
let's say he has a Zoan fruit. He's going to tell Luffy, you're the inferior version of me. You're the smaller, weaker, limpier version of me. How can you even think about defeating me?
Yeah.
And I think with Luffy, he's going to have to, for lack of a better term, bloom in these conditions versus Kaido. And of course, we expect him to have some help with Law and Kid there. So I think you have to knock. I don't think Kaido dies because Oda even said again, he's like, I don't like killing characters in his most recent interview because I like to reintroduce characters if the situation fits.
Yeah.
So I don't think you kill Kaido because then if you kill Kaido and this great war doesn't happen in Wano, then what was this great war that is going to make Marineford look like nothing then? Kaido, that's what Kaido wants. Why would you not have this warmonger in the greatest war that you have planned?
Yeah.
So I think if anything, you either knock him out and he flees, or one of his subordinates take him away, something like that. But Kaido definitely does not fall, or I don't think he dies. Okay. He definitely does not die.
Okay. Yeah. We'll probably go for the last question of the day.
Okay.
Just to wrap things up. What is One Piece, and what does it mean to you? What is the best part about One Piece? What do you look forward to every week when you read the series?
Man, I think for me, when I read One Piece every week, I look forward to characters. Right. I think I've grown so attached to some of these characters that no matter whatever happens in One Piece, I'm going to see it through. I know sometimes I get on Luffy as far as Luffy being stupid and just doing some things that I don't agree with.
Yeah.
But I 100% am invested in following him, following Blackbeard, seeing what Sabo is going to do, seeing what Dragon is going to do, following Smoker, because I really like Smoker, seeing Kobe's growth, seeing how the revolutionaries shape the world after they're in control. So there's a lot of storylines there, as well as a lot of characters that Oda has built them up to the place where we all have our different favorite characters. And for me, just seeing, it's like you've been reading a book for 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years I've been reading this book, and every week or almost every week I'm getting a new chapter of this book. It's like a puzzle that's slowly being revealed to me, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I can finally see the edges of it, which is crazy. I can almost see the edges of it, and I'm like, why would I stop filling out this puzzle now.
It's a
When
journey,
it's like,
you know?
and it's an amazing puzzle. That's the thing. It's not like it's a boring puzzle. You're like, all right, I'm just want to complete it. I'm got started, so let me finish. No, it's like again, this past chapter was it was everything. Like it was so representative of of what One Piece is. It's amazing, from Kobe saving Rebecca, having Shirahoshi, having Blackbeard, Shanks, seeing Kaido react, Big Mom saying, "What is he talking about?"
Yeah.
It was just amazing seeing all these characters that we know and love. And I think for not only me, but a lot of people, they look forward to seeing, okay, what characters are Oda's going to introduce, or what characters he's going to come up with next. So for me, that's the main thing. What about you, though?
Me, it's about the journey, man. Like, One Piece is about the journey of becoming, the greatest thing in the world, the Pirate King. It's such. The thing that I love the most about Shonen is that it inspires a generation to dream.
Yes.
You see Goku when you're a kid overcome impossible odds, and then it inspires you to dream big. And I think that's what One Piece is kind of about.
Yeah.
Dreaming.
No.
Just dreaming about things, Dreaming about.
Yeah, I mean,
working hard to do it.
It's something you can definitely apply to your real life. So seeing again where Luffy came from, where he had this goal where, like, him screaming it all the time is similar to like you writing it down and looking at it every day. Like, I have this goal to do X, and every day working towards that goal. It's phenomenal, and it's like, again, it's inspiring. Like, seeing Luffy getting this like acclaim, it was crazy. It's like, yo, this guy, he's really gonna accomplish it. And I felt similarly with Naruto. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen the the day Naruto became Hokage thing, where it was kind of crazy because I ended up like not seeing it, but it was like, wow. From Naruto was a child, he was like, yo, I'm gonna be Hokage. And again, like you said, shonen, it makes you dream, and seeing these people accomplish their dreams, it's always fantastic, bro.
Yeah, that's it. And for me as an artist, I just marvel at Oda's craftsmanship. It's just a crazy feat that I don't think a lot of people in the community understand how difficult it is to write a manga and draw it in week by week. It's a crazy.
Yeah, because you have a comic, right? You have your comic. I was looking at that, and like recently I've been thinking, if I made a manga, what would it be? And it was like, it'd probably be a basketball manga, right?
Jesus.
And right, so then I was thinking, first my thought was, whoa, what would my main character look like?
Yeah.
Then I'm thinking, how do I develop this series and the foundation? Like, how do I build that out? And I'm like, all right, so first you have to think about the characters. First you have to think about a backstory for this main character. Think about backstories for all of these introductory characters. You have to think about also, where do you want the story to go? Like, how far do you want it to go? How much detail do you want to put into this? What's your audience? It's just like,
it's just so much work, and that's why I get like legitimately offended when people say, Oda fucked this up, Oda doesn't know what he's doing. It's just like,
oh man,
crazy disrespect to the man.
But I thought about it and I was like, this is bro, it was literally impossible without like, you'd have to like plan for a while.
It's so tough to do, like,
because you have to think about this story. And then also, I know the my Attack on Titan, the author, he did this where he pivoted after a while because it became so popular, where then he's like, oh wow, I can't I can't kill the characters I plan on doing, because people love these characters, people love this series, so they want me to extend it. So then it's like, how do you pivot on the fly to extend the series but still keep the quality? Which is, I honestly can't wrap my head around it. So like, that's why for me, I will never say Oda is trash. I will never say Oda sucks. I will never say, because he's creating, and on the level of what he's been doing for 20 plus years is phenomenal and unbelievable. And I'm just in awe of this man. Like it's crazy. It's just crazy. So
I think on that positive note, we'll wrap this up. I appreciate you coming out, man. Like it's pretty early in the morning for you.
Oh, no problem, bro. I definitely want to talk to you about One Piece for sure. Like, and like seeing some of the art that you've been creating recently is like honestly been inspiring me to make more videos. Where I'm like, I can honestly, because I'm like, yo, I can just imagine how much time this takes. I'm like, I can get a video. Yeah. I'm like, so it's like, I want to make more videos, and of course, my intro as well is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure people watching the video know who you are. Our audience isn't that big, and it's probably like the same audience. If you don't know who Brago is, it's Brago DS on YouTube. Yes.
Nah, it's been crazy. I don't know if you've seen some of the comments on the intro.
Yeah, man,
but
I was
like
looking through them. There's a lot.
Overwhelmingly positive, man. Where I'm sure like more people are gonna probably be hitting you up like, yo, can you do this for me? Can you do this, and this? Because like I think like then that kind of struck me as well, because the art for and the animation for the Red Force podcast opening, that's kind of was like, whoa, this is like, because you have the full like animation, like the full art. Yeah. But I like how different the animation and art was, where it's like you knew who it was, but it was drawn differently, and it was just like it was so fluid and animated well, where it's like, I think this is dope.
Well, that's what I went to university for, so hopefully I use my degree.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, listen, I think like the more people get onto it and get onto like what you guys do, it's gonna definitely blow up, bro. Like 100%.
I appreciate it, man.
No problem. No problem at all. But thanks for having me.
No worries.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it 100%.
Christian, what a glorious week to be alive.
Live sighting of Shanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we don't often see the man.
Wait. First off, disclaimer about the situation.
Okay.
About the release of this chapter.
Yep.
Now, as of before, it's out in Japan legally.
Okay.
So it's out.
Right.
Alright, Viz, they want to fuck around. They don't want to give the people the content.
So very confusing what's actually happening.
I don't know what's happening. Golden Week, it's out in Japan when this podcast release.
Yeah, man.
So today in Japan, it came out.
Sure. But Christian, disclaimers aside, talk to me about your week.
How can this week be nothing but glory? What a glorious chapter.
Christian,
Shanks,
do you want to talk about anything other than the chapter? You just want to go right into the chapter.
Let's just talk about the chapter.
All right. Christian, chapter 903.
The Fifth Emperor.
The Fifth Emperor. What do you want to do? Rundown or just general thoughts? There's just so much to do.
Well, there are so many points in this chapter.
Yes.
We're going to run down each point, give our thoughts, give our theories.
Yep.
Alright? And that's how we'll do it.
Okay.
First thing off the bat, Sanji, raid suit.
Your man called it a while ago, from a mile away, and Christian refused to believe it. Thoughts?
Well, I'm partially right, as in he doesn't want to use it for obvious reasons.
But he will use it.
He'll use it when he's in a pinch. Oh no, I want to lose this fight.
I'm gonna suck up. Yeah, I'm gonna suck up my pride and do it for my crew.
Where's he gonna store this canister?
In his pocket, mate.
How big is his pocket?
Just like when Nami stores everything in her tits.
That's true.
Sanji will store everything in his jacket pocket.
Pocket dimension.
Sure.
So, some people are up in arms about this. They don't want Sanji to have a raid suit.
In denial about Sanji, perhaps?
I tend to agree that I don't want Sanji to have a raid suit.
Right.
Because their cancer will spread.
Yes.
Sanji's not that strong. It's only the raid suit. All that kind of discussion will happen when we're in Wano and he pops the raid suit.
I mean, how strong is Zoro without his swords, Like, what's the difference?
Yeah, but Sanji hasn't trained with this all his life.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's not his thing.
Interesting future take.
It could hurt Sanji's face later on, and we all know people are looking to call Sanji the Almaster.
Ladies and gentlemen, Christian always is looking for the future argument and the future feats.
Well, this is going to be in the future. He's going to use it in Wano when he's fighting Commander.
Yeah.
It's clear that he's fighting Commander now.
Okay.
Because he's got that power up in his back pocket.
Yep.
All the time. Can pop it whenever he wants. Alright? We're going to get some inner struggle, inner dialogue. I know. I don't want to use this to hate German,
What
but I
is
have
the
to.
multiplier on the raid suits?
We have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had a fight with the Germa without the raid suits and with the raid suits.
Alright.
So we've got no idea.
So so do you just assume yellow is Germa's suit, or is he wearing a suit with a yellow cape? What do you rate? Surely it has to just be the
Sanji's straw hat color is blue.
Yes. So it'd be yellow, I guess.
It'd be blue with a yellow cape.
Nah, he'll be yellow. He's always been
Yellow Ranger could be Black Ranger.
In terms of the flashback,
Orange could be fucking
yellow shirt on.
Heaps of fucking colors.
Okay.
Choose from.
Oda can do whatever he likes.
Oda can do whatever he likes. Exactly. So who knows, man? I struggle with this power up because it's like, what do these raid suits even do?
Okay, we'll find out what they do.
I assume it grants you immunity, more defense because it's armor.
Yeah.
Grants you some sort of special ability.
Okay.
I assume it grants you additional special abilities.
Amplifies your abilities that you already have.
Because no, I assume it gives you them additional abilities. Because they all have the ability of the exoskeleton, the steel skin.
Yeah.
All that stuff. But when they're in the raid suits, I think we see this most with Yonji, right?
Yeah.
Yonji's hand turns into like a mechanical thing.
Yeah.
In his regular form, he doesn't have that.
Okay.
So it gives an additional ability. What is Sanji's additional ability?
I think it's just giving more fire stuff, to be honest.
More fire stuff, but he's already got fire.
Yeah, but like it just from what we can tell, it amplifies their abilities that they already have.
But we don't.
Because I'm pretty sure we've seen EGD use electric abilities without the suit on.
That's true.
But my memory goes pretty far back.
That's true. But can he do the crazy light speed shit?
True, but it's still electric based.
It's still electric based. So, what about Yonji though? Like that's a counter argument.
He's got ropes in his hands now.
But we can see his regular hands. They're not mechanical.
His face is still mechanical.
But they all have that. They all have the exoskeleton.
Yeah. I don't know. Christian, interesting to think about. Obviously, he'll use it in Wano at some point.
Like, also with Niji, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't use light attacks when he's not in the suit. I don't know. Raid suits are weird.
We'll have to see.
Niji can use electric without it.
Yep.
We've seen that.
Okay.
So, I don't know what these suits do. It's not really clear. But we'll find out in Wano. When Sanji fights the commander.
Nami and Zeus also called this a mile away.
Zeus, pretty easy call. We didn't see Zeus. We never got a resolution.
At this point in the story, we need the Weak True to have these advances in their arsenal. Otherwise, it's going to be a bloodbath.
But this helps Nami tremendously in combat.
It does.
Because she can fly now.
Sure.
She can fly around, lining everything.
Yep. Never get a physical fight again.
Nami's a competitor.
Yeah, she's elevated. This Zeus has taken her out of the weak trio.
Brook could speed, but
I mean, Brook has the advantage of the soul stuff. Could Brook amplify Nami's abilities by soul powers via Zeus?
Does. Maybe. But does lightning affect Frankie?
I don't know. Does he have a lightning rod in him? These are the questions we don't have
Made
answered.
Metal. He took a nuke to the face.
Yep.
Survived it. So, who knows? Frankie...
It's sort of what... I'm just saying, Nami's elevated her power quite substantially. Chopper is next in line.
But it's not her own power.
Yes.
It's Big Mom's power.
That's right. That's why it's so good.
Leverage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Leveraged food. This makes complete sense. I don't know if people have a problem with it.
Yeah, Big Mom is
How do
nothing but
people
food.
still not understand the homies?
Yeah.
They have their free will.
Yeah.
And part of Big Mom's soul, what's Big Mom all about? Food.
And we've seen Zeus is very dumb. Like, Prometheus is like the smart one
Yeah.
of the group. Like, and Napoleon. But Zeus is like the dumb, slow one.
Yeah.
So, Christian, thoughts on Nami? Huge improvement to her.
This guarantees an army fight.
Yeah.
Because she keeps on getting power-ups and no fights. Like, what's the point? What's the point?
People have said about a climate attack not really doing much, but it did help capture Zeus.
All it did, what were the improvements? It just extends.
I imagine it has more thundercloud power in it and shit. Because she doesn't seem that she runs out anymore.
Sure.
So, now we've got a little Zeus in the crew. Full size. No junior Zeus. Full fat Zeus.
Well, he's been eating, right?
Yeah.
We already know this because Prometheus can eat fire to grow.
So now Nami has all Thors.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Nami has to get a fight in Wano. Otherwise, this is wasted. Like, what's the point of this if she doesn't get a fight?
Interesting to see how Oda handles that fight via aerial combat.
We don't know if Nami could ride Zeus, though.
She probably can.
Because here's the thing. We don't know if Big Mom, because of the soul power, she makes the cloud physical and she can ride it.
Maybe.
We don't know if Nami can ride
Zeus
it.
is physical though. They like grab his face and stuff. He's not. The hands don't go through him.
But is that a gag? Is that not a gag? Because Big Mom could ride a fireball and not get hurt.
Sure.
This is her own power.
But it's Big Mom.
But can other people jump on the fireball and it's a physical platform but get burnt? You know what I mean?
It's probably a physical platform where they get burned. My imagining would be.
But he does the fire drop and it's not like a crusher shit.
Interesting thoughts, Christian. I imagine Nami would be able to ride Zeus.
Also, the thing with they can't take damage because it's a fireball.
Yeah.
That's not a physical thing.
Yeah.
Might be a little bit of a nerf because you can't have Straw Hats just zipping around the place.
I think
in air. Like, you can't have them flying because it might break the sequencing. You know what I mean?
Sure, Nami aerial combat suits her. I think.
Yeah, it does. It does for Nami.
But
maybe
the thing also interesting. This might be a solution for Oda's travel time during arcs. We can go real quick to places with a justification now on top of Zeus.
I mean,
we don't need to waste chapters going back and forth.
Moving slowly across. Why don't they just fly over to the castle directly?
I'm sure there's some dude that deals with Zeus in some way.
And then Nami loses her power up.
Nah, they just can't fly, and she can't fly on them. And it'd be an interesting.
That's what I'm saying.
It'd be interesting to see how Nami handles the Zeus combat and how Oda handles.
What's the questions?
An unforeseen thing from Oda, which is aerial combat, not really done before.
Zeus said,
"Yes,
Big Mom's the only one who I let ride me."
Yeah, but now Nami is the master.
But I don't think Nami can ride around on Zeus while lightning's going off. Like Big Mom.
Maybe.
Big Mom can't. Why would Nami be able to ride Zeus and fire lightning from him at the same time?
I think Big Mom was on Zeus when...
Yeah, and then she discharged Zeus and it zapped her.
Didn't she shoot Brooke while she was on the cloud on the Straw Hats? She shot Brooke and Brooke was immune to electric. And she was on top of it. And then Brooke discharged the electric. Seems like her command.
Yeah. A lot of questions.
Zeus
right?
shoots lightning down. Christian, it's One Piece. We'll probably see the answers soon. Let's move on to
a heap of questions.
The talk of the town. Sanji's bounty.
What a funny moment.
Funny. Oda's a comedian.
Comedian.
Absolute comedian.
Absolute.
Now, will this fantasy be broken next chapter when Zoro's 10 higher than Sanji in a twist?
Why would Zoro get a bounty increase?
Part of the 5th Emperor's crew.
I know, but he didn't do anything.
Sure.
But still funny that Sanji's over Zoro.
Yes.
Well, where are the Zoro fanboys at?
They're in the depths of the
salt
pressure at the moment. But they have their justifications and strength, blah, 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 bounty. Very funny from Oda that Sanji cares real bad about this fucking wanted poster.
Yeah, because he cares about the rivalry.
Upset about the Germa still. When's he gonna get over it, Christian?
Never.
When he puts on that suit?
He's not gonna like it.
Yeah.
He's definitely not gonna like it.
Okay.
How do you even take off the suit? That's another question.
Unforeseen thing with Sanji at the moment is strength, obviously.
We don't know his strength.
I want to see. I hope his mental fortitude strengthened after this arc. Should be.
Yeah.
Belief in Luffy, etc. We've been through this.
I mean, when does he question Luffy outside this arc?
Christian. Next on the agenda. Luffy's upset that he can't read. Now,
he's Mr. Zero.
Did we think it was 1.5 bill? Maybe.
Immediately.
You take zeros off and stuff, you can figure that out. I've seen a few reactions here and there. People sometimes put it together, sometimes they don't. Yeah. But, interesting. Oda, see, this chapter is very good in the way that it sets you up. Starts at the start with a bounty, then we go to the nice little news piece.
Well,
the fake news rights.
Before that is Fishman Island.
Yes.
And Luffy has an official territory.
Officially under Straw Hat banner.
Official Luffy territory. Of course.
Yes. Interesting.
Neptune agrees that, Jinbei's joined the Straw Hat crew.
Yep.
It's time. It's time. It's time for Straw Hat to get territory.
They wonder where Jinbei is. Still in the news on Jinbei or the Sun Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Germa.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll find out when it's ready, when it's time. That Jinbei's fine. Well, Jinbei could have damage, but he's not dead. I think we all agree on that.
We'll talk about that later, because there's a scene with Big Mom.
Okay.
So, the narrator starts, and here we go.
And he's talking about
the
newspaper. The world knows now, Christian, about the Grand Fleet.
They do?
Assumedly, Bartolomeo and Cavendish told the newspaper.
But why is the affiliate? I don't really get the affiliation with Zabo.
Right.
Like, wouldn't Dragon being his father be a more important thing to write than Zabo's his sworn brother?
The world does the world know?
They should,
because I believe not Dragon. Okay, you stated that in the Marineford that Luffy
is the
son of Dragon, but were the transponder cells knocked out at that point via something? I can't remember.
Well, you would assume that the word would have gone out.
In Dressrosa? Someone told in Dressrosa Zabo is sworn brother of Luffy? Is that where they got the information from?
Yeah. Who knows? I don't understand why Zabo is a bigger deal than Dragon.
Right. So, interesting.
I just think Oda wanted to put Ace and Zabo in there.
As brothers, yeah.
So, it starts, he's got affiliations, he's got a massive fleet.
Yeah.
Luffy orchestrated this whole plan. He's very smart.
He's charisma and intelligence, Christian, which is, not true.
Not true.
Luffy spent almost the entire arc.
Maybe he's charisma. I'll give the charisma.
Yeah, as Mihawk said, Luffy's greatest strength is in gathering the people around him to help him.
Yes.
Now, Luffy got credit for this entire operation. He was in the mirror world finding Katakuri for almost the entire operation.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, Capone's upset. We see Capone real mad that he can get credit. I imagine also a bounty increase for Capone.
He didn't even get mentioned.
I
did get mentioned.
He did get mentioned. Yeah. He was a part of this situation. I could have vintage 600 million or something.
Please be hiding kid.
Sure. Capone was actually successful in his plots.
Was he?
Reported by the newspaper, Luffy's victory.
This is Luffy's victory. Is it Capone's victory?
Capone's and German's victory as well. I'm not saying $1.5 billion, Christian. That's ridiculous.
No.
What was he? 300 something? 300? I could see him being 600.
Please be hiding kid. Yeah. That's all I want.
We won't get bounties for a while for Capone. But, interesting note, Capone's upset, but should get a bounty increase. So, relax a little bit, Capone.
They also note that he beat Cracker and Katakuri. Of course, big news would have heard about that.
Yeah.
He was in the area.
Brule screaming over the speakers about it.
Yeah.
So, Big News taking a liking to Luffy.
And now he's declared that he's the 5th Emperor.
The 5th Emperor. Now, Christian...
What does this mean?
This means that Luffy is indeed considered the 5th Emperor. Now, some people out there are being like...
I've heard arguments.
Some people out there are like, oh, the Navy needs to give him recognition, or someone else needs to give him recognition.
Let me ask you this question. Who gave him the bounty?
The Navy.
Oh.
Now, Christian, I just want to point this out for the people and the viewers out there, and the listeners on SoundCloud and iTunes. Go rate the
And
podcast
follow.
on iTunes and SoundCloud, please. Christian.
Little plug.
Oda wrote Luffy as the 5th Emperor for a reason.
And and I reckon this is the defined point to this statement.
Yes.
It's saying Luffy, he's not ready to be the 5th Emperor, but he will prove himself in Wano.
Yes.
Now, sidebar,
Yes.
re-update predictions for Wano.
Christian.
Kaido has to go down now. Kaido has to go down.
For Luffy to prove
Because the
himself.
gauntlet has been thrown down
Via Luffy's hands?
via the newspaper. Luffy's the 5th Emperor.
Yeah.
This has to be the arc where he proves that he's
That he
capable
needs a title. That he is capable of having the title.
of the strength of having the title.
Yes.
Now, am I saying it's a 1v1?
No.
No bullshit? No, I'm not saying that. There are people out there who are saying Kaido's not going to be in Wano, and it's going to be a Big Mom situation. My canon to that is, you've already had Punk Hazard and Dressrosa going against Kaido directly.
And I imagine there'll be a series of video game MacGuffins to weaken
Of
Kaido.
course. He has some sort of secret power that only Law
At some
knows.
point, his impenetrable skin goes down, etc., etc. A lot of devil fruits on this island, Christian.
What?
A lot of devil fruits that
good.
can do something to Kaido. Now,
Kaido has to go down.
Christian.
Re-updated. Luffy gets all the credit for the operation.
Yes. Luffy, this is what I wanted to say about Luffy. The viewer, it's clear to the viewers, via Blackbeard, and via the story,
just by the story.
via your own comprehension, that Luffy's
We
not
all
ready
know-
for the title.
We all know he's not ready for the
But
title.
the world thinks he is.
Because this event.
This will come into play. Kaido will be like, you think you're an emperor? Prove it. All the commanders will be like, Straw Hat Luffy, you think you're an emperor? Prove it.
Exactly. That's
Luffy
what Wano's going to be about.
Finally, Luffy has to prove himself and grow into the title instead of always being shortchanged
Exactly. This time
the
he has to
entire
grow.
story. This time he gets a break. He gets the buggy treatment.
He does get the buggy treatment, but Luffy has
Now,
the capability.
I might add that Buggy is one operation away for being an emperor as well. We see how it falls down. It's the right people in the right situations. Classic Buggy.
If Buggy's in Wano,
Classic Buggy.
if Buggy's in Wano,
Now everyone
Maybe.
50% of the community believes Buggy will be an emperor via comedic clarity.
if Buggy turns up in Wano
Yeah.
and something happens to Kaido, he somehow gets all the credit.
Yeah.
Yes, we know that you have to do.
I'm not
something.
saying Buggy will be an emperor now. No, I'm saying at the end of the series, Buggy will probably replace someone. Hilarious.
some hilarious event.
Yeah.
Sure.
When the emperors actually die. If they die. I
Can
imagine they'll
we
die.
stop calling the Emperor's Yonko?
Yeah, alright.
It was stupid to begin with.
Christian, the anime calls them Yonko, and I might add, Crunchyroll translates Yonko to Yonko, not four emperors.
It's the 4 emperors.
Yeah.
It's like people not translating crew member from Nakaba.
Right.
It's the 4 emperors.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the Yonko. It's a Yonko in Japanese.
I think now people
Now
are
it's
just
the
going to say...
Goko. What? Stop.
People are
It's
just going to
call
say...
them emperors.
People are going to refer to the Yonko still as the Yonko.
The 5 Yonko.
No, they're
Are we
going
getting
to
that?
they're going to refer to the Yonko
I've
as
already
the
seen.
Yonko.
I've already seen that on Oro Jackson forums.
Because, let me tell you,
They don't believe.
when they're referring to the Yonko, they're still referring to the same characters.
But
They're
it's
not
a-
referring to Luffy. If they want to say Luffy, they'll say Luffy.
It's an irrelevant title now.
I
'Cause
guess.
it's 5.
Now, Christian. Luffy's got the bounty.
Mm-hmm.
Massive around the world. Then we get into this strange, kind of nostalgic Kobe section.
Wait.
Yeah.
You forget that we found Crocodile. this
Crocodile
chapter.
is in this chapter. ladies and
Crocodile
gentlemen.
has been found. He is not dead.
When-
He's not.
Were you complaining about it last week, being like, where's Crocodile?
Yes.
Christian wants Crocodile.
Where is he? We found him. He's somewhere.
Now, he's in a mansion, doing well for himself. So,
Maybe,
Yes.
just throwing out there,
Mm-hmm.
could be attending Reverie.
It's
Who
very
knows
fallacious, but
Who knows why? Who knows how? Who knows why?
I imagine he's found an island for himself that he's taken over.
Notice,
Yes.
all the characters we see that aren't silhouetted
Yeah.
are at the Reverie.
Okay. Interesting take.
We see,
Has he somehow become king of an island again?
maybe he's succeeded this time.
Right.
Who knows?
Okay.
Maybe the government's cut a deal with him after the
Again.
Marine Fort. Tried to assassinate Whitebeard. Who knows? Who knows what happened?
Finally, Crocodile Boy is in the series. Oda has not forgotten about the man.
Oh, who could forget about Crocodile?
Now, Christian, Kobe, what are your thoughts on this Kobe section in the middle of the chapter? What do you think?
It's hilarious because people thought this was the entrance of Greenball.
A lot of people are like, is this Greenball? I'm like, relax.
Greenball wouldn't be able to swim.
He would have a devil for it.
He has to have a broken devil fruit,
Yeah.
as tradition for all admirals.
People are
Kobe.
people are only saying like, oh, Kobe's only a captain still. Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you that like the Navy has protocol and rank, and you have to prove yourself, and the government has to do the paperwork to rank you up.
I've been saying this forever.
Yeah.
To be an admiral, you still have to have the military knowledge.
Yes.
Hence why Garp never wanted to be an admiral.
Didn't want the responsibility.
Didn't want the responsibility, didn't want to, command ships.
I imagine there's vigorous
blah, blah,
physical training
protocol.
as well as tactical training to be admiral.
blah. It's a military organization.
They're not going to appoint an 18-year-old kid
To vice admiral.
to vice admiral, not yet. Maybe when he's 20. It's all about knowledge and skill in the Marines, not the pirates. Alright? They're not pirates. They have organization and structure.
I would say what's more important to a vice admiral is his leadership skills
Yes.
compared to his strength. Because it's a military operation.
Mm-hmm.
You're not fighting super strong pirates all the time.
Anyway, Christian Kobe stops this missile,
It's
this torpedo from
Torpedo?
another submarine. That's two submarines in the story now.
where are these goon pirates getting a submarine
Good
from?
pirates indeed. They stole...
New World's goon pirates,
Yes.
nonetheless.
We get a nice high piece for Kobe, seeing his training paying off from Gut the Fist.
Kobe's way behind Luffy. We know this.
Yeah.
He's younger than Luffy.
Yeah.
Where do you see Kobe turning up in any of the series?
What's his role? Are you asking me his role?
Final War, what does he do?
This is hard. It just depends how you figure out what's going on in the final war. Because you imagine Dragon wins and overthrows the government. Yes?
Kobe surely the good one.
Surely Kobe and Fujitora are still involved in the New World
and
Order.
Smoker.
And Smoker as well. I imagine Fuji, Kobe, and Smoker will be linked together some way in the final war. They'll have that kind of ideology going on.
Yeah. And Helmeppo will tag along.
Yeah,
Maybe
Helmeppo's there.
Hina will tag along.
Hina was in this
One of the
chapter
ships.
going on the Reverie.
One of the ships,
Yeah.
escorts, yeah.
Now, Christian, we get to the part of the chapter that set the community ablaze. We get the Emperors, Kaido talking shit,
Blackbeard talking massive
Blackbeard
shit.
talking massive shit.
Echoing the concerns of the community.
Big Mom upset, being like, when did I lose?
Now, I want to talk about this.
Yes.
Notice, she only mentions Monkey D.
Yes.
No mention of Sanji. No mention of Zeph.
No mention of Fishman Island.
No mention. But, Fishman Island just officially confirmed
Yes.
to be Luffy's first territory.
I think
What does Big Mom mean by watch your back?
she's gonna put all her effort into Straw Hat Luffy,
Directly.
not his assets. She wants to go at him. She wants revenge. She's not a subtle person, Christian.
So if she gets word of where he's at,
She will turn up.
she will turn up.
Yes.
Turn up in Albath?
Christian, perhaps. I don't know what the fuck is still happening after Wano, should be clear maybe soon or post Arc of the Reverie.
Yeah, Reverie's not gonna be that long.
Yeah, so soon we'll find out. Then we can piece things together. But I think Big Mum, full out assault on the Straw Hats. She's not. We know she's not the kind of type of person to be like, I'm gonna travel my ass to to Fishman Island.
It's not that far from the New World.
We might find some heads. I don't know.
Is Blue safe?
I don't know. Christian, this is the thing. Travel time, how long does the series last? Why it could be 1 day. It could be a week travel time. We don't know.
It is a week travel time.
Yeah. It's a week travel time. Wano could be 1 day. That's a week and 1 day. Can you get to the East Blue in that amount of time from the New World? These are questions that
now
need to be filled.
Pause. There is a lurking legend out there.
Yes.
That Oda said will turn up. Do the Straw Hats meet him on the sea?
Perhaps.
On the way to Wano.
Everyone's saying it's Shiki and he's a Shogun. That's what everyone's saying.
That's the most common theory and the most likely theory. Yes. But
could it be the vampire character from the game that Oda drew and made up?
No.
Of the gold era.
Japan though. I think it's Shiki. I think. Yeah, they might meet on the sea. You know, Nami's like, oh, more people got to come after us. Maybe someone comes after them.
Finally.
And started to get to fight on the seas. Because he's the only one. He's the only one up and about.
I think they'll make it to Wano with relative ease.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Is this lurking legend Shiki? And does Zoro fight him?
Shiki, it's a pretty high chance. I'd rather it to be a different character because we've already seen Shiki.
Yeah, but this will be a reinvention.
It's not much of a surprise, and you're not going to learn what he can do. We know what he can do. It's not that kind of surprise.
I will have heaps of new shit for you.
I know it's not canon, but in the back of my mind, I'll still think Shiki's weak because Luffy already beat him with a fucking, what was it, Thor
axe.
Yeah, not even Haki. So, kind of dampens.
We never saw him get knocked out, did we?
Yeah, I don't know. But he gets defeated that way.
It's a movie.
Interesting take on Shiki.
But Shiki is canon.
I was pretty confident that it's Shiki.
Alright.
But whatever. Christian.
BB, Big Mom.
BB, Big Mom. And then... Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
It's time.
The man we've all been waiting for.
The myth of legend.
Shanks. He's here. And he says, Christian, we'll be able to meet soon.
We called this.
Luffy. The exact word, ladies and gentlemen, picked from the heavens.
We called it. Me. See, we know
what the fuck's up.
Shanks.
Yes.
We have studied Shanks.
We've studied the scriptures. We know.
We know what's going to happen with Shanks.
Christian.
Shanks is here.
This statement from Oda.
It's a 22-year payoff.
This is also the thing that I think is what this chapter tells everyone. Oda's not fucking around. We're beelining to the end.
We are officially in Endgame One Piece.
Yes. Luffy's an emperor. Shanks is on the move.
How long is Endgame?
That's 10 years.
10 years. But we are in Endgame.
Yes. People realize in this chapter, masterfully done by Oda, might I add, he's reminding you of Kobe that day at the start where Luffy has been and where he's come from.
I think this is the end of that New World feel.
Yeah, we just got here feel. Now we're in the New World.
I know the volumes say Hokakon's still part of the
saga.
It's part of the Four Emperors saga.
Yeah.
So after this chapter, it really feels like we're in the end game.
We're here. We've arrived.
Yeah.
The Straw Hats have arrived on the scene. Finally.
They're being recognized.
Yes.
So, endgame time. Very, very exciting.
Shanks, what is the story? Now, I talked to Brago about this, and I speculated and threw the thing at him that training arc with Shanks, a little bit of a test fight before Luffy 1v1s an Emperor. The last training before Luffy gets thrown into the deep end, finally. Thoughts?
My only problem is timeline.
Yeah.
Time frame. what happens after Wano, because who the fuck knows what happens after Wano. Somehow they have to get to Elbaf.
Yes.
This arc has to happen.
We know... The only thing we know after Wano is Elbaf, but we don't know where it fits. The Straw Hats must go to Elbaf.
And it's a Vegapunk chicanery.
Yes. Now, Elbaf could be end of series after Luffy's already the Pirate King. We don't know. We don't know where Elbaf fits. Okay?
It's before that.
But we must go to Elbaf. That's the only island we must go to, and Raftel. 2 islands we must go to. Anywhere after Wano is huge question marks that I don't think anyone really has a right answer to at the moment. It's kind of real vague.
Definitely is. Where are we going after Wano?
Struggling with Brago as well with this question. Like, the community is just confused. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have an answer for us, put in the comments.
This feels like old One Piece where you didn't know where you were going after the arc.
It's good. Get lots of speculation involved. Shanks, ladies and gentlemen, hype.
So much hype.
This podcast is called the Red Force Podcast because of the God King Shanks.
He's here.
The
fuck.
From chapter 0/1 to chapter whatever the fuck it's gonna be.
Shanks.
The greatest moment in anime/manga history will be Shanks meeting Luffy. Comments.
It's gonna be the greatest fucking thing on the planet.
Greatest event in entertainment.
Oh, Infinity War. Who gives a fuck about Infinity War?
No one gives a fuck. It's all about the One Piece. Christian, I think when Luffy finally meets Shanks, it'll explode the viewer base to an even higher degree.
But the series is already over by the time that happens.
Because people remember the first episode of One Piece, right? Surely everyone's seen the first episode at some point. They remember Shanks, and the narrative will be, holy shit, it took 25 years, but the moment finally happened. And that's when we'll see the greatest explosion of the population of One Piece community we've ever seen.
You see, this chapter is so hype.
I mean, My Hero Academia's got 4 good years left until it ends or dies a horrible death.
That's a roast.
So
that's an uncalled for roast.
One Piece will be the last man standing.
It already is the last man standing. Yeah. So this chapter is so hype.
So delicious.
You know, I only get this. Last time I got this excited was the Smash Brothers Switch announcement. Yeah. It's trailer.
Christian, this is the thing. I already said this to Brago. You know, Carlton lost 6 in a fucking row. All right.
Yeah.
I was deathly depressed all night and all morning until you delivered me the chapter. Praise be. Didn't give a fuck.
The excitement.
Feeling electric through my fingers all day, Christian. That was the feeling.
This is a One Piece greatness.
This is what
this is the real
about.
shit.
This is
no
what it's
one
about.
can compete. Nothing can compete with this.
And ladies and gentlemen, the reason the Whole Cake we appreciate Whole Cake Island for its value. All right.
Yeah.
We like Whole Cake Island. Is it worth it now, ladies and gentlemen?
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it now?
Do we get something out of it?
Is it worth it now? Luffy's an emperor because of this arc.
People prematurely calling shit.
Yeah.
We're having it on post arc.
They forget
the post arc
every time. The post arc.
The post arc's the best part of One Piece.
And the context of what happens in the world. Every time they forget.
Nothing can beat this.
Savor it, ladies and gentlemen, because
what event in Naruto beat this? Fucking nothing.
Post arc needs to be mastered by other writers, Christian.
Well, it's the way the One Piece world works.
Yes.
Because it's a global story.
Yes.
It's not, I want to be the leader of this village that no one else fucking cares about.
No.
It's a very personal goal. We don't even really know how these villages work.
I think, Christian,
it's all about the world building.
This is the hard thing about world building and like the modern era of manga and how it starts. You need to hook people right away with hype.
It's because
you gotta take time, Christian. It takes real time to build a world like we've seen with One Piece. Now, Christian,
people don't want to do the long arcs anymore.
Let's just finish the chapter and then we can discuss.
Alright, Luffy has a 1.5 billion berry bounty.
Everyone's
shocked. Excited. Luffy not going to Reverie.
Yes, going to Wano.
This is good for the story. I like it. I like to see it.
Confirms that the Reverie is not that long.
10 chapters, I'm calling it.
Yeah.
10 chapters is enough.
I think 10 chapters is pretty much what everyone's expecting now.
10 chapters, we can get a heap. This chapter alone.
Massive
Information.
Now, Christian.
1 chapter.
I just want to point out this is the first time we're seeing Shanks' face post-time skip.
Post-time skip.
Now, what I noticed,
what?
A little bit more hair in the face. And Scar, alright, Oda, you don't draw him that much. I'll forgive you. Scar, a little bit thicker.
It's a close-up.
But, you know.
When was the last time we got a Shanks close-up? Never.
Maybe Marineford.
Wasn't a close-up.
They're shots of his face.
But this is like a fucking close-up on the eye.
Christian. 11 out of 10 chapter.
Event, and it's an event chapter.
It's a chapter that will be remembered in One Piece history.
It's a chapter that transcends time itself.
903, 795. These are the chapters that we live for.
This is the GOAT.
This is why we read the series.
This is why Oda is the GOAT.
Yes. And can you imagine the final, Christian, the final post-arc? You get all your answers.
It's fucking fantastic.
Now, Christian, we saw Crocodile this chapter.
Indeed we did.
But no Mingo.
Yep.
No Garp.
No GOAT.
Who else are we missing?
We'll see Garp during the Reverie. It's fine. We don't need to see it in the newspaper.
No Rayleigh.
That's true. No Rayleigh. Where is he?
Doflamingo, next chapter, I'm putting a 50-50 on it. He will be in jail, reading this chapter, laughing like he does. Now, Christian.
Yeah, like Monkey D's coming.
Confusion on when the next chapter's coming out. I think we're on a break.
Don't think we're getting a chapter.
Yes.
But I don't fucking know.
So we will be reviewing whatever we said last week that we're supposed to do this week.
Question to the viewers.
Yes.
Do you want us to review Alabasta? Because we're going into Reverie, and I think we'll get...
That'll probably be a nice fill-in.
We'll get some nice feeling, or you just want to start from the start? That's my question to you.
Alright, let the people
East
decide.
Blue-
Let us know in the comments.
Or Alabasta.
Okay. Now, Christian. Predictions.
Fuck. This chapter...
We don't need to do the rating, because it's already God tier.
God tier rating.
God tier.
Blessed by Shanks. He's in the... If Shanks is in this in a chapter, it automatically gets a God tier rating.
Yeah.
Let alone all the...
Greatest of all time, God tier rating. One of the chapters that'll be in the echelon of the viewer's mind forever.
Exactly.
Top tier.
Top tier chapter.
If it was on the power scale,
It'd be Shanks tier. Because Shanks is
tier.
here.
Done.
Power
Everyone's
scale
waiting.
chapters, that's interesting.
Everyone's waiting, Christian, for what the fuck is going to happen next week. Because we're in that magic zone where anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Who knows what's happening? I have no fucking idea.
What the fuck?
Did we get to see Zoro?
Yeah. Will we get a similar 975 chapter?
Yeah.
Not 975.
795.
795. Where Kaido appeared and then we got some Sanji updates finally. Christian, I believe so. I think we'll
Zoro
get...
next chapter.
I think we'll get the missing half of the newspaper next week. People that weren't in this chapter.
And Zoro.
And some Zoro.
Or, similarly to Kaido being revealed,
Yes.
the lurking legend being revealed.
Perhaps. Is he falling from the sky?
No.
We'll have
Kaido's already done
we'll
that.
have another hype piece for this man.
Yes.
Okay. Christian, this chapter is like... We've already said... What else can we say?
What else can we say?
What else can we say? It changes everything. This is a ground-shattering chapter.
It changed my thoughts on Wano.
It gives us insight into what Oda is trying to do in the future.
Wano.
Yes.
Wano is going to be the proving grounds
Yeah.
for Luffy.
Luffy
And
must
the
have...
crew.
This confirms
Kaido's
massive
downfall.
fights for the crew,
Yeah, with the power-ups as well.
and Kaido must be defeated in Wano to prove Luffy as an emperor.
I think Kaido's going down to Wano.
Yeah.
Wano's going to be a fucking long arc, but it'll be worth it.
Now,
No doubt.
Christian, would you like to move on
How strong is Shanks?
to how strong is Shanks?
How strong is Shanks? Yeah. Every week
Yes.
we come to you with a good word from Shanks. Right? Some people out there, you know, say Shanks isn't the strongest. The Drag is the strongest. The Kaido's the strongest.
No dragon this week.
Who cares? Shanks is in this chapter. Right? And we come to you every week and we tell you that Shanks is the strongest and Shanks is the God King.
God King.
And I bring you evidence every week. This week's evidence: one sighting of Shanks in a chapter sent the community into hype overload.
A frenzy.
A frenzy of hype.
Yeah.
What other character in shonen history can do this? No one.
No one.
No one can do this.
No, not even close.
Not even close. Who can do this? No one. Oh, Toby is Obito.
Didn't see that a mile away.
And it was shit.
Yeah.
No one cares. Shanks is the fucking God King.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Christian, what's next for the people?
The power scale.
Let's go. Oh, the power scale, Christian, every week.
Every week, we power scale 2 characters.
We add another person on the list every week. Now, you're first.
Am I first?
Yes.
Is it time for a very hard power scale?
Ooh, who do you have for us this week, Christian? What challenge have
A
you brought?
devilish power scale.
Okay.
We have Captain Kobe.
You bring me Kobe
So in this chapter,
with no stats.
with feats.
Alright, we have feeds. Give me a ranking that you want to put on this list.
First of all,
Yes.
this is your turn, and you have to give me the ranking.
Christian, where would I put him? I'm not sure, but observation haki confirmed.
Unlock OD, apparently.
Yeah.
Consent of submarine underwater
From a
from
distance.
a fair distance.
Yes. Now.
He states that his ship is around but out of sight.
Okay.
Fair distance. Couple kilometers.
Very fast.
Skywalk.
Yes.
Blue walk.
Trained by God
Trained
the
by
Fist.
God the Fist.
Must have arm and haki.
Must.
Assumed
It's a
has
must.
arm and haki.
It's a must.
Blue walk.
Blue walk?
Christian, I'm confused because we know we're not counting
Protected.
the Rocky Port incident.
There was a point incident. Law
Law involved.
was involved.
We don't know the
We know the
situation.
details,
Christian, I'm looking
but
at this list.
apparently he fended off law.
Is high mid conservative via OD haki alone?
He has broken observation haki that he unlocked during Marineford.
Does he compete with an L/an O?
I think he's on the same tier as Kiros right now.
Kyros?
Kiros tier.
Kyros high mid.
I'm mid tier.
Kyros. Strong.
People want to say Kiros is strong.
The man defeated Diamante
With one leg.
with no legs. He was shot in the knee with one working leg. I don't know how the man
The
walked.
power he can generate with just his arms alone.
Yeah,
That ain't even legs.
and his Colosseum record is very good. We've power scaled
We've
Kyros.
done it before.
We've justified his position on the list.
I think Kobe justifies the high mid.
High mid.
OD haki.
What does he need to do for you to move up to the illustrious low high
We have to see him in a fight actually fight something.
to get a real
Not
indication?
fight an inanimate object. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
Actual fight with someone. I want to know what kind of power he has.
Yes.
You know, strength wise. We know he has Rikishi styles. How good is he at it? We don't know.
Yes.
Rikishi plus observation haki. Never seen it before.
Okay.
Has to be absolutely broken.
Now Christian speculates that the man Garb has Rikishi styles.
He must. He trained Kobe. Kobe has Rikishis. Garp has Rikishis.
Okay.
We've never seen Rokishi, Soru, with observation haki, or Kamiya With observation haki,
Right.
it has to be broken. You can alter your body like paper with Kamiya. Add observation haki to that.
Katakuri.
Some sort of Katakuri effect. Maybe. Broken. We haven't seen it. That's what I'm saying. So, Kobe...
Do you think that combination of abilities Oda will never touch on because it sounds broken?
Well, it is broken.
Yes.
I think he will. Rob Luch returns. Maybe we get to see Kobe in action eventually.
Will he inherit...
Rikishi plus Haki broken.
Will he inherit the fist from Garp?
Yes.
Will he be the Garp character for Luffy?
Tech Eye
Yes.
plus Armament Haki.
Alright, I get it. Alright? You like Armament Haki, you like Tech Eye.
Alright? Rikishi's plus Haki, it's broken.
Mm.
So, I made Kobe.
I made Kobe.
Dunzo.
Good. Now, Christian. We're going to the Reverie.
We are.
Potential antagonist of the Reverie. Wapple.
Wapple.
Yes. Where does your mind go instantly to Wapple?
The Munch Munch fruit.
Yep.
One shot. Fire. Gong Gong Bazooka.
Yep.
Back in Drum Island.
Yeah. Resume, not good.
Resume not good.
But interesting abilities.
Interesting abilities can
Tank
combine
form,
with stuff.
Hippo form.
Slim form.
Yeah.
Does
Let me answer this question, right? Let me make it simple for you. Trash or low?
He is a grand line
because
villain.
he's not going low.
No,
Not in low.
no low. He is.
He doesn't compete with Mr. One, Paulie.
I guess he's the first villain of
Duval.
the Grand Line.
Yeah.
Am I saying he can beat Kuro?
Interesting fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just say he combines with some sort of metal object.
Kira's not cutting that.
Kira's not cutting that. Can he beat Arlong?
Arlong's a muscular and physical specimen. That I don't
Very
think
true.
That I don't think that Wapple could handle.
No. Wapple's not handling Arlong.
Yeah.
Is Wapple handling Buggy?
He's got cannons,
He can eat the Buggy balls.
and he can eat Buggy's body parts.
He can.
Interesting.
I think he beats Buggy. So, a low tier for Mr. Wapple.
Roll for Wapple coming up. What's his deal? Is he gonna be on the side that's like fuck Luffy?
He's gonna be obnoxious
Yeah.
and just constantly annoy Cobra and Vivi.
Yeah.
He's gonna be annoying.
Okay.
Will he be the Caesar of this arc?
Interesting.
The incompetent villain.
Hilarious incompetent villain.
Yeah, scheming in the background.
Portable Buggy TM.
He's a clown. Where is he? No one knows.
Where is Caesar Clown? We're gonna see him in the newspaper.
Who knows?
Is that the Vegapunk news? Do you want to talk about that newspaper a little bit? The hot topic of the people?
In the power scale.
Mate, I just remembered it.
Irrelevant.
Yeah, I don't think the Shibuya system's busted already. Future Show's goal, not gonna happen off screen. Christian, you happy with
I am. Lolo.
Lolo?
And,
Christian,
I need for Kobe.
onto my favourite section.
Question corner.
Question call. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of questions, very lengthy. People were upset last week, to say the least.
We got some very good discussion going on in the comments.
Very good discussion indeed.
Now,
Ladies and gentlemen, we are fine with you not agreeing with us, and we comment in the sections below. You can go to the Red Force Podcast YouTube page and comment. Find us on Twitter,
comment down below. We'll read the question
Gmail.
on
I
the show.
promise I'll look at the Gmail. Someone emailed me last week, completely missed it.
Come on, man.
But he commented in the YouTube. I gave it. He's like, yeah, man, it's fine, whatever. He commented in the YouTube section. Okay, so all's well that end well.
Did you read his question?
It wasn't a question in the end. It was a statement, and the time already passed from 2 weeks ago.
Check the Gmail for the people.
I'll check the Gmail for the people. I'll also check the iTunes reviews at SoundCloud. Ladies and gentlemen, make it worthwhile for me to pay the subscription to SoundCloud to get the RSS feed.
Someone has to pay for it,
Okay.
and I'm not paying for
Yeah,
it.
Christian's not paying for anything on this show.
That's right.
Now, Christian.
Now, a little interesting thing happened this week.
Yes.
Hype Chapter came out.
People decided to comment.
People decided to comment about the chapter that hasn't happened yet.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know we've reviewed the official release.
We reviewed the official release. No official release this week.
Yes.
Kind of a loophole. Do we want this kind of behavior in the future?
Christian, you can't stop the people from being passionate.
I know. I love to see the passion.
Yeah.
I love to see it. But
And we get up-to-date questions, which is fun.
we get up-to-date questions.
We can keep our standard up and hold. This week is dodgy as fuck, alright?
I just don't...
So, in going with that theme,
We'll answer dodgy as fuck
we'll
questions.
answer dodgy as fuck questions, alright?
Here's the thing. Like, some people might watch the show who follow the official release.
Yeah,
They might not want to get spoiled in the comments.
okay.
Just a little bit of thing to think about. This week's an exception. Because it's a dodgy week.
Okay.
Alright. First question comes from Vemish.
The
Long
man...
time viewer of the show.
Yes.
Is Luffy an emperor now, or is it just a metaphor for big news Morgans?
No, I think we've answered this.
We
Vamish,
have?
my friend, Oda has stated that Luffy is the 5th emperor, so we must take his word.
He is the 5th emperor in the world, but we know he's not ready.
Yes.
That's
He
my
will prove
stand. That's our
himself
stance.
throughout this saga.
Wano.
Yes.
It's time for him to prove. We've
Discussed.
talked about this.
I think there's a little bit of shock value on the Luffy being emperor.
No one saw this coming.
Huge shock value.
Zero people saw this
And the
coming.
bounty. Interesting, no one's complaining.
Because it makes sense.
Because it makes sense. Now, Christian, this is Oda magic that is out of our realms of knowledge. We can't predict the man. We can't predict the greatness.
You can't predict Oda.
Luffy being emperor shocked people into submission.
He did a submission.
Yes. No one's questioning it, Christian.
Good.
Next question.
From Faru G.
Yes.
I think a main theme of this arc, okay, go on, is the acceptance of who you are and embracing why you are.
Okay.
Sanji is caught between a rock and a hard place and can't figure out what to do. Luffy says, what to do. Luffy says, do what you want to do. And Sanji says, I want to go back to the Sunny and save the Vinsmokes even though they are scum.
Yeah.
Luffy says, well, that's just
Who you are.
who you are. After that, we explore Sanji's kindness with him saving the Vinsmokes. We explore Sanji's cooking skills and his ideal to defeat anyone, regardless of who they are. What's the question?
He's getting into it.
Who they are with the cake, and Sanji's genuine love for women with pudding. I mean, who doesn't have genuine love for women? But that's just a normal thing. Sanji is no longer denying himself. True. Katakuri, same idea. Puts up a front for who he is, and due to this fight with Luffy, because he is tired, because he tried, so... Was this? Because he's tired, so tired of not being himself. Brule with similar words as Luffy says, you're perfect the way you are. Pudding thinks she is a horrible human being and it all stems from her weird third eye. She is often an actor in front of Big Mom and her siblings. When Pudding gets the kiss, this is something she is doing for herself and not as a puppet of Big Mom. Unfortunately, Pudding is the tragic character that couldn't cast away her negative ties to Big Mom pirates, unlike Katakuri. Furthermore, Sanji's cake not working is the same thing as Katakuri stabbing himself. It is logically dumb that Sanji didn't poison the cake because of his ideas, even though he could have killed Big Mom. Maybe.
Yeah.
Is it illogically dumb that Katakuri stabbed himself in the ideals? Maybe. But That's not the point. Not everyone is about...
Not everything is about...
Not everything is about what is the
smartest
smallest thing to do. Oda is saying we should accept these people for who they are and forget them for raising ideas. This is not a fucking question.
Now, Christian, this is basically what you've been saying verbatim for whole game on.
I asked you to put the dog together, and you put not a question in the question corner.
Let me explain myself on this statement by this man, alright?
There is 0 question marks.
Let me, Christian, do you agree with this man?
Yes.
Do you 100% agree with him?
Not exactly,
Okay.
100%.
What do you?
I think he's on the right track.
Yeah.
Logically dumb things that
Should happen, but
don't
ideas
happen.
don't prevent them.
I think that's a subjective thing.
Yeah.
We have no real evidence that Sanji's changed.
Right.
I'll throw up a rebuttal about that.
Mm-hmm.
Although, did Sanji need to change?
Okay, generally on the right track though.
Genuinely on the right track. I applaud the smart response to a great arc. Thinking deeply, because you got to think about this arc.
Yeah.
This arc is just punches and kicks, right?
Yeah.
You got to think about it. Now, onto a real question.
Now, I put this in because we had this same comment
A fake question.
like 3 times from your man, Jose. Pretty much saying the same thing. He's upset that people don't understand this arc.
But it's not a question.
Okay, I just wanted to put the word out there from the people that they understand what the fuck's up.
We know that people understand what the fuck's up.
Yeah.
We know that. It's not a, just wasn't a question. From our friend Nylock,
Yes.
quick question was,
Yeah.
do the citizens of One Piece pay tax and is it theft? Well, that's a very interesting fucking question that I actually want to know.
Christian, how does the world government collect money to pay for anything?
What is the tax rate? What is the tax policy? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Is there income tax? Is there goods and services tax?
No, dude, I assume...
Import-export tax? What's going on?
I assume the way this works is the citizens pay tax to the king pays tax to the world government.
Yes.
So depending on the kingdom's tax, see, the world government is like kind of loosely ruling over the world.
Yeah.
They're kind of nonchalant about it. They don't have systems in place that keep people down. They're just like, we have kingdoms, do what you want.
They have the means to pay ridiculous amounts for bounties.
We'll protect you.
Yeah.
I'm assuming for some sort of fee, some sort of tax.
Now, are they on the gold standard, Christian? Do they have a vault full of gold, bullion?
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
There's no bullshit tax. There's no bullshit credit systems and shit. Is tax theft? Yes.
Tax
is always theft.
Next question.
That's the way it is. For my man Hez,
Let's talk about bounty.
Higgs Man Show. Quick question. Well, if you wrote this question a day after the chapter came out, trying to think you're smart.
I put this in here because he also mentions the other Straw Hats and how much they'll rise. Thoughts?
Will Luffy be a billion berries after Whole Cake Island?
Yes, he is.
Why'd you ask me this question? You know this answer. You commented a day ago.
Other Straw Hats, though, Christian.
Other Straw Hats
Has
as
Nami
well.
increased?
I assume so.
Yes.
We'll probably see that next chapter.
Is there
The rest of the Straw Hats.
is there a crew general increase as well?
Well, Zoro can't increase.
Yeah.
Because we don't want that. We
Okay.
don't want the joke to not hit Zoro. Because we need to see that interaction. I assume Brook gets one. Nami, Carrot gets a bounty.
Yeah.
Jinbei's increases if he's still alive.
Sanji, 330.
Yep.
Does Nami have a respectable bounty now?
I think she's like...
Over 100?
I think she hits 100.
Yeah.
I think Brook's on 320. I think that's fair.
320? What was Brook on before?
No, 120. Sorry.
It's a ridiculous amount of money.
I got
Excited.
about the Soul King hype.
Yeah. I think they'll increase 100 each, to be fair.
100 each.
Their captain just got declared an emperor. And Nami and Brook are involved. In this arc.
Yeah, that still puts him in a decent range.
Yeah.
It's not too crazy.
Yeah.
Frankie's gonna be mad.
Chopper, 200?
It'd be funny if Chopper is higher than Frank. Everyone's higher than Frankie.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny. The Frankie sold.
I don't think Chopper will get an increase at all because Chopper memes.
Chopper memes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. From a man, Andre. My question: what future matchups are you most excited about, and what outcomes do you predict for those? And I know I'm being greedy, but here goes another one. At the end of the series, what characters do you see dying? Keep up the great work.
First question, Christian.
Matchups. Luffy versus Blackbeard. Sanji versus someone. Anyone.
Please.
Just give me a Sanji fight.
A fight would be fantastic.
Sanji versus someone.
Zoro going all out.
Zoro going all out against the Shogun.
Christian's desperate for an army fight for some reason.
I just want to see.
Yeah.
I also want to see a Robin fight.
Okay.
Give me a Robin fight. Give me a Tsunami fight. I want to see someone versus Kizaru.
Ooh, Kizaru.
Lightspeed versus someone.
Akainu?
I want to see Akainu go. There's fucking heaps of fights I want to see.
Yeah.
Most excited about is probably the Luffy versus Blackbeard fight to end the series. I imagine the world gets fucked up, destroyed. A lot of damage, a lot of hype. That's my most anticipated fight.
Who will be Shanks fighting, Christian?
And cannot forget this one. Zoro versus Mihawk.
Okay.
The long-awaited fight. Must happen. Will be hype. Can't wait for that one either.
Shanks is playing his skills against who?
Well, Shanks will never fight anyone because he's gonna one-shot everyone.
Right.
So there you go.
What if he goes into a different dimension and it's a mirror fight via himself in a different timeline?
Well, here's the thing. Shanks is omnipresent.
Yeah.
So he is.
There's only one of him.
There's only one of him in every universe.
In all universes.
He is the singularity. He is the singularity.
Right.
He is the epicenter of all universes.
Okay.
So there can only be one. Just like the Highlander.
Now, Christian, who's dying?
Who is dying?
People are bloodthirsty in this series. They want blood. They want it now.
Maybe Inuarashi or Nekomamushi.
Okay.
In Wano.
Yep.
Who could I see dying in Wano? Law? I think that would be a massive, impactful event. People love Law. Law dying in Wano, I think it makes sense. He's kind of had no drive after Doflamingo.
Yeah. He's got his goal.
Does his fucking bullshit immortality surgery on someone. Or he does the reverse immortality surgery on Kaido. He might just die because he's taking too much damage. Kaido pans his head in.
Jimbo?
No.
No Jimbo?
Maybe eventually at the end.
Yeah.
Final War, Jimbo dies.
Luffy?
Are we repeating Gold Roger? Time skip end of series, Execution of Luffy.
The final chapter.
The final chapter? Maybe. But does that really count?
That ends the story.
But does that really count? Because then, the story's over and the death is kind of meaningless.
It's not meaningless. What do you mean?
Well, the series is already over, so, Luffy's already achieved everything.
It's full circle, mate.
Yeah, but I'm saying, isn't it an important death?
Shanks.
Because it doesn't impact anyone.
Yeah. Hopefully Blackbeard gets murdered.
I think Blackbeard will
defeated,
die.
Yeah.
Death by drowning? Find someone has to die by drowning.
Triple effective.
Triple effective.
Christian, I hope that answers your question, Andre. Many deaths to come. I know he's hungry for deaths. We might see some deaths in Wano for you, mate. Christian.
Now, how do I pronounce this? Chorush?
Chokrush.
Chokrush?
Or Chokrush.
Chokrush.
Either or.
Who knows? Since I'm commenting anyway, I'll give you guys a question. In the year of Sanji, we're going to focus on Sanji's character growth. I've seen a lot of people theorize that the Wano is the year of Zoro. Do you guys think Zoro will go through some kind of character growth in Wano? Similar to Sanji and Whole Cake Island? Or will it just be focused on physical growth? His swordsmanship. Physical growth.
Does Zoro have a character, Christian?
Well, here's the thing. Yes, he does. But I don't see it coming into play in Wano. Because Zoro is about being the right hand man.
Now,
And
Christian,
there's not going to be decisions Luffy has to make.
yeah.
So I don't really see Zoro gaining character development in that kind of emotional sense.
No.
Do I see him getting pushed physically and as a swordsman and what it means to be a swordsman? Yes.
Okay.
Is it the year of Zoro? I've heard no official word about that. It could be, could not be.
Now, I imagine it'll be in regards to Sanji, what he got on Whole Cake Island, which is a Luffy-focused arc that Sanji has a role in.
Has a massive role.
Yes. Zoro will have a role in Wano, massive role.
Here's the thing, I don't know about that.
I mean, it's a swordsman arc, he'll have development.
It's assumed a swordsman arc.
Yes. Everything's assumed.
This is all assumed. This isn't Oda coming out and saying it's the year of Zoro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's had plenty of opportunities to say it.
Yes.
So, is it the year of Zoro? It might be, it might not be. Who knows?
Luffy will be the main character, though. Everyone's expecting
Obvious.
Zoro to be the main character. But what are you talking about?
There's a lot of Zoro fanboys out there.
Yeah. Now, Christian. That's all for the questions for today.
Mm-hmm. Longest episode to date.
Perhaps. It might not be. We'll have to look at the tape. Now, Christian, this week, what a great week. Alright?
Something like these chapters, man. Nothing like them.
It's an interesting development that we're going through on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 18.
I'm glad we're here for this event.
Yeah. No regrets.
Oh.
Fun times on this show. 19 unofficial episodes. This is the 18th on paper. But there is a episode 0. That was a sort of a pilot run.
Shit show.
We're almost halfway through the year. We'll get, what is that, another...
7 episodes?
Yeah, no, 6 episodes, something like that. Christian Brago this week coming on the show.
Thanks for turning up, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate the interview, man. It was an interesting insight into Brago's mind and stories that we haven't really heard from the man. We get to hear his development as a One Piece fan, where that came from, shonen, all that good stuff.
Cool, man.
Hopefully we get more guests in the future. Christian, where can they find you?
You can find me at C_Tolato on Twitter. Follow me. I don't know why you would, but follow me.
Find him if you have any issues with the power scale.
Find me. You can argue, but you better come with a good
Now,
argument.
if you have issues about Rayleigh being where he is,
He's bringing it up again.
convince Christian that Rayleigh deserves.
You have to
be
send me.
higher tier.
You have to send me real evidence.
Yeah.
Evidence that I haven't considered,
Yeah.
which is 0. I've considered all the evidence.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's the keeper of the power scale. So if you've got issues with that, find him. You can find me at Eric Tolano on Twitter. Now, Christian, a lot of art coming out of this. A lot of fan art coming out of this Twitter account. A lot of things on the horizon.
Eric's Twitter is actually used.
I'm actually using it, which is interesting.
I don't use Twitter because I think it's useless.
Right.
What's the point of it? I don't get it.
Okay. Christian, do you want to pimp anything? Nothing to pimp?
I mean, you can read Shadow Sword was on a hiatus.
Okay.
Find that at TolatoComics.com. That's all it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, comment on the YouTube video.
Definitely do that.
Go to iTunes and rate the podcast, please.
Definitely do that.
Follow the podcast on
Yes.
SoundCloud and all that shit. And
Like the video.
like
subscribe.
the video, subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, good night.
Shanks is
a
God
good
King. He claps.